Introducing Pubcoin. Pubcoin is the rewards program for pub sports contributors. Regular chat contributors share their play of the day, POD, in the YouTube chat, including the phrase POD in their message. At the end of the week, the amount of units earned are converted into Pubcoins. Pubcoin can be used as reward points for prizes, shop discounts, and contests.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? It's Mills here, Pub Sports Radio. Do you guys want to challenge the personalities here at Pub Sports Radio? Do you guys think you're better than them at entering in your MMA predictions and picks? Would you want to get paid for it? $100? Here's how you do it, man. You sign up right here at the link below. It's just this easy. PubSportsRadio.com. Enter your email. Pick your weekly picks. That's it. Oh, and you get bonus points if you can predict how they're going to win in what round. Every single week, a new winner's getting crowned. So every Saturday on Pub Sports Radio. So come on and check us out. You can win $100 just for signing up. Only thing you need to do is see if you can beat us here at Pub Sports Radio by entering your UFC predictions and picks weekly. Do it. I dare you. See you guys soon.
Your membership to gold, you will be automatically entered in every horse race every Wednesday and Friday. It is time to race horses. We are racing camels today.
Shout out to the gold members. We're racing in San Antonio immediately here, and we're off. 2 minutes, 74 canals on this racetrack. It's wide. We're racing in San Antonio.
Matt Wally moving forwardly. Jeff Slaughter in the mix as well. And as is Randall Sheffield, who's put that beautiful nose out front.
But it's actually real grass here, Jimmy. Maybe Kentucky bluegrass. Oldie, no! Here he goes. There he goes. Oldie in the lead now. K. Wolf falls back. The horses love it. Sometimes they stop and eat it on the way to the finish line. That's why your horses start so far in the back. Here, oh, look at Nuss Flush Allen bursting out here. J-Dub in the mix. Rude Boy up here as well. Jimmy, take it away.
There's Oldie. Oldie is moving to the front. We are past the halfway mark in our 2 mile. And there's Ricky Levy.
Oh my goodness, he's in the mix here. Jimmy, take it home. This is our first dog race ever.
19 seconds left in the horse race here. It's Fernando Mendoza trying to find the wire. 14 seconds left. Can Fernando Mendoza take this home? Here comes Kenny Kengan. Kenny Kengan wants a piece of the pie. Put his schnoz up front. Ricky Bobby, 9 seconds left. Can Donut Silks make a run? Can Res Mall make a run to be $50?
You son of a bitch!
Here comes Tori Coker. Kenny Kengan, Smoke and Mirrors, Director 97 home. That is great. Here comes Jason Meyer, the other custodian. Billy Friedrich, shows one of all coming down to the finish.
Coin! Fired! That's nowhere!
Oh no! Fanatical Jim!
Get 'em, Jimmy, where low shack at? The bottle's getting empty, I'm not cracking, we stacking. Chips, all of this, what I want, plus money winners, that's what I'm on. You can say I'm gone, I prefer elevated Pub Sports Radio. Time to get educated, who can produce, fade the juice, letting loose with so much abuse that the bookies wanna call the truth. They get slaughtered, can't forget Jeff and Low Baggers in the chat. That's a legal weapon, cause we need, oh yeah, pubbing, we be pubbing!
What up, cappers, gamblers, punters, hustlers, low baggers? Happy Friday, October 25th to all of you. Thank you for watching Betting with the Bag right here on Pub Sports Radio. We have a monster show. I mean, it's just heaven for sports gamblers. CFL to pop things off, and there's money to be made, as I've been saying the last couple of weeks. We have NHL right after that. God damn, things went horrible for me yesterday in NHL. 0-4. The Kevin Fiala penalty with 58 seconds left in that Kings-Ducks game. I just knew the consequences of it. It was such an ignorant play by Fiala. It's not about scoring the empty net goal, which he dove and tripped a player to try and score. It's about keeping the puck out of your own net and keeping the puck deep. It was as irritating a spot. So I'm in bad shape in NHL right now, and I'm going to need to change that today, and change that tomorrow, and change that this weekend. It just sucks. That's all. It just sucks. It's stuff that we have to deal with. One sport going great, another sport that I care about so much hurting. It's just something that we have to deal with, the ebbs and flows of this. But it's as irritating, as aggravating as you can imagine. Then we have Major League Baseball. We have Sharpie and Daby Cab joining us for Game 1 of the World Series. And I haven't been moving much on baseball, but I'm really interested in doing so here. And there's fascinating stuff going on with Jack Flaherty's velocity that Sharpie will be touching on here. So that is a great part of the show. Then we're going to go into college football with Daby Cab and Wine Time Sports. We're just going to be hammering these Friday games. And then we close with this giant NBA card. I stayed off the Spurs last night, which was very difficult to do. The market just didn't make sense to me. The 7.5 to 7, I think to move on a dog in that nature, it's got, unless you have a huge angle, that's your angle. And I have one for the Stampeders that we'll talk about today. Unless you have that, then you need a sign in the NBA, where they just destroy the public, that it's the right side. And going up to 8.5, and I could have got a 9 at -120. I got cold feet. If that means my quantity of action is going to go down a little bit in NBA, that's okay. I really want to kind of keep it tight early in the year, but that's 2 days in a row now. I went 2-0 on the first day, and then 2 days in a row I haven't moved, so that's a little uncomfortable. We'll have to make moves here. We'll want to make moves here today. And we have Wine Time Sports opening up his NBA account with us. We've seen what he's done in college football. It's a great challenge for him here. So we're excited to see him rock. Shout out to all the cappers in the chat. We got Stacks play today, Boston College, a team total over 21.5, and the Yankees at +106. That line is moving real heavy towards the Dodgers. And I was planning on being on the Yankees. I think this line is going to get me off of it. The only thing I can imagine, I can get the Yankees right now +115. The only thing I can take from it, and again, we're going to be utilizing Sharpie's skill set, is that Flaherty on this extra rest will have his velocity back up and will pitch well today. Clearly that's what the market is indicating. We'll talk all about that. But I can completely understand the look. I think I maybe put a little bit on the Yankees to win the series. I don't know. We're going to have to talk about it here. The market has kind of thrown me a bit of a loop. A ton of record keeping on today's show. Of course, every single capper who will be on there has their record there. For our college football cappers, it's only their record of games they've talked about here on the show. This is the time of year where that takes up so much of my time, especially with NFL Pub Hub too. But it's very important. I talk about, go back to the Stampeders game. I go right over to the first article I read. I won't, after I was done my capping, I go over the first article reading, and they're on the Roughriders, which I think is a mistake. But of course, there's no record up there. There's no accountability, and that's a part of this industry. There's a lot of touts that will sell you their picks. They won't give you their real records or their full records, and that's something that we fight against heavy on this show. So everybody's record is up there. For me, my NHL record will open me up for a ton of negative comments, probably live here and, on social media. But My MLB record did that this year as well. It's just, I don't know what to say. It's important to us here at Pub just to put honor in a industry that has almost none. Nuke Worker in the house says, good morning, fellas. A new day for new catch. And there's the Big O in the house. Don't think I didn't recognize our guy, Big O. Now, Big O jumped on our stream last night. And I've got everybody's action from last night. This is what Big O said to us to start off the show. Big O said, no work tomorrow. I can enjoy this one. I have Rams triple up spot. Taking a shot now. Let's go. Absolutely great work. Big O says, good morning to Mr. Marty Drexler. Jose, let's get his horses to the finish line. Races 1, 7, and 8. We are also 1 week away, 7 days away from Breeders' Cup Championship Friday. Now, because it's on the West Coast, and I know this is just, going to cost me hours of sleep, but because it's on the West Coast, I usually take the Friday off of our show here, Betting with the Bag, and I just focus solely on horses. But it's on the West Coast. The first Breeders' Cup race isn't until 5:45, so we are going to do our show here Friday morning, and then we're going to have a horse racing show that pops off. I'm not entirely sure when. Certainly before 5:45. And then we go all day Saturday here with a bunch of cappers rocking with us. So love to see you, Big O. We got J-Dub in the house. Ilya Katz. J-Dub says lines have now flipped in CFL. I mean, yeah, we knew this was all going to happen. We got the Tiger Cats money line at plus 115. It's now minus 135. We got the Elks money line at plus 115. It's now minus 160. Now, I was late on the Bombers train. It was just my mistake. I was a little overwhelmed and should have taken them 3.5. Now, I did make a bigger bet. I've actually made bigger bets on all these games this week just because of the 11-1 run we've been on last 2 weeks. But I did take the double result to fix that. But this is all what we expected, J-Dub. It's all fall. We got two J-Dubs. Sorry, because we got J-Dub in the house and we got J-W. So I'll start fixing that. My bad. So J-W. Nuke Worker ready to get to work. Series business in the house. We got Red Girl, Dougie Wise. There's Wine Time Sports. Kongs Clips in the house. Great to see you guys. Nut Flush Allen, Kent Davies, BJ, best bet, New York Yankees money line. That's interesting, BJ. I can't wait to hear your reasoning behind that. You always care so much about the market. I wonder why the line move towards the Dodgers it doesn't do much. I'm very, very, very interested as to why that is. Kong's Clip says my 7-year anniversary is Sunday. See, of course, I should have been looking at that first, but of course, BJ's action. I'm like, really? Congratulations, Kong's Clip. 7-year anniversary. Says shout out to my wife. I love it. Congrats, Kong, and to your wife and to your family. Congratulations. Wonderful news. 7 years for Kong's Clips. Gerald Jones in the house. He is on the Dodgers. We have Justin McKelvey ready to get to work. Big O says Teoscar World Series most valuable player. And free band play Yankees first 5 minus a half. So let me get all of this. Make sure that I have all of this. I don't know how I've seeing certain things and not seeing others. So Teoscar Hernandez World Series MVP here for our guy Big O. Again, we're going CFL, NHL, and then we're going into MLB. We have Sharpie and Daby Cab for Major League Baseball. Dougie Wise on Yankees first 5 minus 105. Get this all here so we can talk about it before the game. BJ on the New York Yankees money line. Let's get this all locked in. Yankees money line. And Dan Kelly says reasons for Atkinson. So I did dive into this, studied your man Atkinson and your bullishness. I like the deep dive on him. He seems like a real character guy. Dan Kelly says reasons for Atkinson coach of the year, but excellent coach. He went to a perfect fit for his skill set. The voters know the Nets fired him unjustly, and I love it. I love it, Dan. And now it was 20-1. Now it's 18-1. And I enjoyed doing the deep dive on it. That was fun. I enjoy that. I always do that. Now, I should have just bet the Wemby to lead the league in blocks last year, plus 1,300. That was the gift from Dan Kelly. BJ says Rams free last night. Classic Vegas spot. It was. It was very easy. Now the refs were also on their side. Nate Dog 420, the odds bunch here says Jack Flaherty Day. I can't wait to talk about that game with you. Kelly McInnes. It was a bad night, Kelly. Taking Pops $200. There's nothing to do with my feelings. Again, though, we talk about the psychological and thought process behind action and behind people's action. We talk about it more here than in other shows. My mom was a shrink. I care about that stuff. He's now lost 4 straight $200 bets, and he's cashed 6 straight $300 bets. They're all public spots, but you can, with a $300 bet when he sends it in, he's extremely confident that the line is wrong. On a $200 spot, he just thinks the line doesn't make sense. And so he's lost 4 straight of those. So I think that I should just send in the $300 bets and pocket the $200 bets from now on. But they're always such public spots here. Dan Kelly says you should probably wait to see how Flaherty looks. Dan, the psychological thoughts behind all of that, I can't wait to talk about, because we don't need to do that because the Dodgers have done that. You don't think they're vetting him for Game 1 of the World Series? I mean, if you don't trust the brain trust of the Dodgers, then yes, you should wait to see what he does. But Nasty Nate says, I'm on the Yankees. The market's not taking the field today. Well, the market took the field yesterday in the Rams game. But however you want to handle it is obviously up to you, Nasty Nate, my man. Brandon the Great on Rizzo RBI. Let's pocket that here at plus 250. Let's get that here. There we go. Wine Time says Juan Soto's birthday today. It's something I don't care at all about. But I love any information that we get one time. I don't mean any negativity. BJ says most of the money and tickets is on the Dodgers. Yes, it is 75 and 77, and the market's going in their direction. But we'll talk about it. Thank you, Kong's Clips. Dougie Wise, Wine Time. Everybody's great. We got MI Line says, I love the ponies. We got 9 Legacy. I'll be copying and pasting that. MI Line says, Razor be killing it in the races. He has been a monster in the races. I am surprised that he's going on. Now, we all need vacations, but that he's taking a vacation on. We all are. All of Razor's friends are saying no and screaming no at him. So I'm surprised that Razor is going on vacation for the Breeders. But yes, he's a monster. We know that on my line. He's incredible. Oh, there he is in the chat right there. Says Rizzo eats against Jack Flaherty. Home run, RBI, bases. Bet it all, says Razor. There he is, right in the chat. Now, Razor will be there in person in 2025. So great to see all you guys here. We got to get to work. We have a ton of work to do. I'm that. He says, I still want to take Elks -3. Yeah, I mean, I get it. Nuclear's already deposited his HPI account, ready to go. I love that. We got Jay Wills ready to go. Brian Watson, Razor Sharp picks. Nut Flush Allen says, if any low baggers in the Pleasanton, California area, Mike and I with Old Town Bakery at another Harvest Festival, stop by and I got the goods for a crazy sports weekend. I love that. So great to see all you guys. BJ says, what line movement are you seeing? Just a pretty... I was watching it very closely last night and watching it, see how it would go. 8 cents. 8 cents. It was 12 cents at 6 in the morning. And so, but just 8 cents. I want the Yankees here. I'm with you guys, but I just want to talk it all out. Mr. Heat looking for the Yurfie here. I'm that Heat says legal books have Ticats as a favorite. My local has them plus 2.5. I would bet that as soon as you possibly can. I'm that Heat. I would get that money line. I didn't even need the 2.5 points. Kong's smash play of the week: Magomed Ankalaev and Rinat Fagratinov and Farid Basharat at plus 109. Let's copy and paste all of that action here from our guy Kong's Clips. Kong, thank you for sharing that. BJ saying, yeah, Dodgers minus 126. Nate Dogg on the Pistons plus 10 at minus 11.15. 115. Here we go. Let's copy. Sorry, I think he means at minus 115. I imagine that's what Nate Dogg means. I got that copied and pasted, Nate Dogg. All right, time to get to work. Pipe layer in the house. We got Drewski ready to go. Great to see all you guys. Birdie in the house. Wager Detective. ODU. God damn, I wish I was on ODU. Robert Franklin, Mookie Betts, MVP. And happy birthday to Brandon the Great. Happy birthday, my man. Brandon the Great. Let's all take a second and shout out our guy, Brandon the Great. Happy birthday, man. I hope you enjoy the day. Thank you for starting with us. All right. Let's get to work. And we're going to move into Canadian football. It's been an incredible run these last 2 weeks. And it's been very helpful for the bankroll. I've not been running well across the board in sports, so I really took my bookie to the woodshed last week. And I did so the week before, but not quite like I did last week. And I told you guys on Thursday and Friday that I was going to make all my money in CFL. And that got in my head. I only had 5 bets in NFL last week. I don't want to get too caught up into that, but let's get to work here. We start at 7 p.m. this evening for the Hamilton Tiger Cats, 7-10, 3-5 on the road at the Ottawa Redblacks, 8-1, 6-1 at home. TD Field in Ottawa, Ontario, 47 Fahrenheit, cloudy, 4 mile per hour winds. Let's get into the line history here. We'll use Bet365. I can tell you the line history. I've been staring. We were waiting. Thank you. Shout out to the nuke worker who sent me the text message at about 7:25 p.m. And if this was a different week than last week because the lines weren't moving that fast. And the Bombers line was the first to move. And I was, getting my action in for NFL. I don't know. I just sometimes you get a little overwhelmed with sports, and I missed that one. And I was so fixated on the Tiger Cats and the Elks. But both the Tiger Cats opened up at plus 2.5 at Bet365 and plus 115 on the money line. Now it's minus 135 and the 2. Another thing that I have decided and that I've been doing here in the last few weeks of each sport is I'm letting the totals go. You'll have edges on totals here. They would be team totals for the teams that aren't trying. But I'm already hammering the double result in the money lines. So I want to keep this as clean as possible. I don't want anything getting in the way of the money I'm going to make this weekend. And it's sides and it's motivational. So that's all. So I don't know what the total has done. I mean, I could tell you guys what the total has done, but I'm making my money on the side. I took the Tiger Cats at plus 115 and the Tiger Cats double result at plus 190. Even last night on our show, on our live stream, the double result was just plus 180. Now it's plus 140. So it has moved 50 cents from when I bet it, and it's moved 40 cents from last night. The Tiger Cats have gone 5-1 straight up, and they've covered 5 of their last 6. They come in off a dominant 42-20 victory at home over the Stampeders. We were all over them. And we were all over them because of Bo Levi Mitchell and, being let go in favor of Jake Mayer and Bo Levi Mitchell going for most outstanding player. This is a spot where these teams have nothing to play for, but there are some small things that they care about. And they care about Bo Levi Mitchell winning most outstanding player. They do. And he's never played better. I've never seen him. I'm shocked at this. This is a journeyman that I can't believe how good he's been. Soft belly play today is the over 6.5 from Barbarito in Night Senators. Let me get that. I want to make sure. Jose, can you help me when I'm in CFL and NHL? Just because I'm just going to be so focused on everything that I won't be able to copy and paste like I can when I have somebody with me. Let's get the Chapiadora USC here as well. Okay. So back to the spot. Bo Levi Mitchell has thrown for 31 touchdowns and 5,026 passing yards. He's way ahead in both of those spots. Still, I don't think he should be given most outstanding player because he can't even get his team into the playoffs. But he could win it, and he could win it off another dynamite performance like last week. 24-37, 450 yards, 5 touchdowns, 1 interception. Stephen Dunbar caught 7 passes for 146 yards and 2 touchdowns, because you have to put all the focus you can on Tim White, who I think is the best receiver in the CFL, who caught 5 passes for 128 yards. It gets Dunbar open. Another big thing about us being on the Ticats last week was that Greg Bell was back, and the Stampeders can't stop the run. And remember that when we talk about Roughriders Stampeders, that the Stampeders can't stop the run. And that's a lot of the angles of this, part of the reason why people are backing the Roughriders. So just remember that the Stampeders can't stop the run. And Greg Bell returned from injury, ran 15 times for 139 yards. This Ticats team got going too late. They lead the CFL in yards per play. They lead them in yards per game. And again, they want Bo Levi Mitchell to win most outstanding player. Then we'll get into the Redblacks here. They come off their 6th straight loss, an ugly 38-31 setback at Toronto. And it's because Bob Dice fucked this all up. That's what he did. You know, I don't know if there's room for real nice guys in sports. I don't know. And it's a weird thing to say. Because Bob Dice, everyone talks about how nice he is. Sometimes you need to have an edge. And you need to be able to have some compassion for the edge that your athletes have. And they may scare you, or they may be assholes, or they may do all sorts of things. But if they have talent, you've got to figure out a way to work with it. And Bob Dice cutting Rocky Armstead cost the Redblacks the season. Rocky's gone. That was our whole angle last week against the Argos. Now, there was motivation for both teams in that one. And Kalen Labor was, he ran 4 times for 11 yards. The whole Redblacks team ran 8 times for 28 yards. So do the Redblacks care about going into the playoffs, losing now 7 straight games? No, they care about being healthy. They care about being healthy. That's it. The Tiger Cats are going into Ottawa. Ottawa's best defensive players, if they're not listed as out for rest purposes, and we'll go over all of the latest injury report because it was a fluid is changing here. We'll go into this injury report right now. They're not going to play in the second half. There's no reason to. There's just no reason to. So we know that Shamar Bridges is out for the Ticats. That's fine. But we have players that are very, very helpful for this Ottawa team that aren't playing. You know, Justin Hardy, Jamal Morrow, Marco Dubois. They might get Devontae Dedmon there, but what's he going to do running the ball? And then their key players that have been hurt this year are not going to play in the second half. They're not going to play. So Ticats money line at plus 115. Ticats double result at plus 190. Now, if you guys don't want to, hammer these games individually, there's different ways of betting this. I watched a bunch of cappers decipher how they wanted to do it. And it was in the parlay style. And I'll tell you how they worked with these games as soon as we're done capping them all. But I'm on the Ticats money line at plus 115, the Ticats double result at plus 190. The most important thing for the Redblacks is going in healthy to Toronto next week in the division final. The winner, of course, will travel to Montreal, Molson Percival Memorial Stadium in the East final. So Ticats plus 115, Ticats doubles up plus 190. I tweeted it all out. Let's move on to the 9:30 p.m. game here. Toronto Argonauts at Edmonton Elks. Argonauts 10-7, 3-5 on the road. That win last week not only got us paid with the double result and on the spread, got us paid in full, but it also cashed me a $500 bet on the over 9.5 wins. I really thought the number was a mistake, thinking that Cameron Dukes couldn't lead a very good Argos team to some victories. What I was wrong about was that when Chad Kelly came back, he was going to be so rusty for not being with the team for the first 9 weeks. Not like a usual injury. He was suspended, and I'm fortunate to have got home here. It's just too bad that I lost the $500 bet on the Elks over 7.5 wins, because I had set up in my head a situation where in this last game, the Argos wouldn't need to win it. They would have no motivation to win it for the playoffs, and the Elks would win this game at home and cash me both. Of course, that didn't happen. So here we go. Commonwealth State, Edmonton, Alberta, starting to get cold. 38 Fahrenheit, clear 5 miles per hour. Let's go over the line history here. This was the exact same line as the Hamilton line at Bet 365, which came out before the other books. This was the Elks plus 2.5 and plus 115 on the money line. Now they're minus 3.5 and minus 180 on the money line. Now, it's fun working with all these different cappers because you see all these different angles. And Bobano, nobody knows CFL better than Bobano. He's an X's and O's capper. And this was the only spot he liked this week, was the Elks. And it's that blatant to me that the Elks are the spot. So Toronto coming in off a 38-31 victory at home over the Redblacks, clinch home field advantage for the Eastern Divisional Playoffs next week against these Redblacks. It was 38-6 going into the fourth quarter because Chad Kelly looked like the best quarterback in the CFL, is what he looked like. And I believe that there is value on the Argos to win the Grey Cup because of Chad Kelly being the best quarterback in the CFL. Now, I haven't moved on it. The only future I have left is the Bombers to reach the Grey Cup. Right now, the Argos are plus 450. I don't know if that's necessary. I think that they're going to be dogs in Montreal, and we can just bet them on the money line there. They're going to be dogs if they play the Bombers. But maybe slight dog. Maybe if they beat the Alouettes, then it'll be a pick 'em type situation. I don't know if it's necessary. I don't know if the line is big enough. So Chad Kelly went 21-26, 331 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. He got pulled late. They took their foot off the gas. The Redblacks converted 2 onside kicks in a row. It was a crazy ending to make it 38-31, but it was 38-6 going into the fourth quarter. So Cameron Dukes will be in for this. This is the difference. So with Cameron Dukes under center, 210.9 yards per game through the air. Kelly under center, 307.1 yards per game. An extra 100 passing yards a game. It's just a difference maker. The Argos have no reason to do anything here. This is as easy as spots get. The Elks have been an atrocity at home over the last few years. This year was their best season since 2019, 2018. They went 2-6 at home. This was the legendary losing streak at home. The Elks fired Jones this year. The Elks want to leave something for their cappers. Sonny, what's happening, my man? Nice to see you. Our guy Sonny Thaliwal in the house. I still got the going strong, Sonny. We're going strong here. In saying that, the Argos have absolutely nothing to play for. I mean, nothing. I don't know how they don't lose this game by 20. I'm trying to figure out the best ways to take advantage of these spots. For me, it's been taking the money line. This one, the money line and the double result, and they were both plus money, so they're both going to pay out big. Sancho, my man, what up? So, but maybe it's alternate lines. But I think with the double result, 6-0 on double results the last 2 weeks. How do I not want to hammer that again? So let's talk about the Elks. They're coming off their bye week. They were last seen a 23-18 win at Calgary in week 19. And Trey Ford, Heck Crichton Award winner, a guy that I fight for. And if Chris Jones had started, Chris Jones would still be coaching the Edmonton Elks. Now, he's not as flashy as McLeod Bethel Thompson, but they are a much better team with Trey Ford at quarterback. When Trey Ford's at quarterback, they have the number 1 rushing offense in the league. When MBT's at quarterback, they have the worst rushing offense in the league. And why is it important to have a rushing offense? To give your 330-pound defensive ends a chance to take a break. That's why it's important. Maybe not the best use in 3-down football to get a first down, but you need to give your DEs a chance to rest, and that's what they get to do when Ford's at quarterback. With Ford at quarterback, Justin Rankin against Calgary. Now, we know that Calgary can't defend the run. Justin Rankin ran for 14 yards a carry. 10 carries for 140 yards. So I am on the Elks at plus 115. I'm on the Elks double result at plus 145. Again, if you wanted to parlay the money lines or something like this, you could, but you can add to that. So let's get into adding to that. We move on to Saturday, October 26th at 3 p.m. Eastern, and Rod Zawacki using the alternate line at -6.5. So, I mean, like that's a great way of doing it here. Let's move on to this. So this was I would like to have had the -3.5 in my pocket. And the lines that came out on Tuesday, they only were full games. There were halves, and also there was no double results. Double results came out on Wednesday. I was still late to the party. I got the double result at -125, beat myself up for a little bit, decided to bet a little extra on it, and it is what it is. So this line opened up at 3.5, and it is now at 7.5, a 4-point move on the Blue Bombers. We're at Percival Memorial Stadium, Montreal, Quebec, 50 Fahrenheit, partly cloudy, 8 miles per hour. And look, Rod Zawacki on Montreal in the points here. It's an interesting cap, and I'd love to hear, why. Maybe you can pop it here in the chat. We can start with Montreal as Rod's on them. Montreal comes in off a 27-3 loss at BC, and we were all over the BC Lions last week. I told everyone I thought it was the best bet on the board, and they were -1.5. We cashed double result as well. Cody Fajardo was 7-9 for 67 yards. He's not playing. And Davis Alexander was 11 for 16 for 67 yards. And it's not Davis Alexander's fault. You're putting him in a situation where he doesn't have the weapons. If you don't have weapons, how are you supposed to move the ball? These guys that they have, these star players, the Austin Max, Walter Fletcher running back, they're not playing in this game. They may play for a series. If you look at what happened with Montreal last week, how can you blame Davis Alexander or Cody Fajardo for not moving the ball when their star players aren't there to make any receptions? I mean, look what Montreal had. Stevie Scott running the ball and Sean Thomas Erlington. Do you think you'll see Stevie Scott or Sean Thomas Erlington running the ball against whoever wins of the Redblacks and the Argos? Tyler Sneed was the leading receiver. And then Steven Scott. You think Charleston Rambo is going to be out there? Keon Julian Grant, you think he's going to play more than one series? There is no reason for these Alouettes to do anything except just get out of the game healthy. Winnipeg must win this game to get a bye past the first round and host the Western Final. They come in off their bye week. Not only that, but they were last seen in a 14-11 loss at home to Toronto. Zach Collaros has been saying all week, we got to get this offense on track. We got to get it on track. He was 23-30 for 249 yards, no touchdown, interception. Kenny Lawler caught 6 passes for 108 yards. Then you have another element of Brady Oliveira trying to win most outstanding player. Ran 12 times for 64 yards, caught 6 passes for 41 yards. He has a lot of reasons to excel here. This offense has struggled this year. 7th in the CFL. Action Jackson says, I don't know if the Bombers can cover this or not, but they need this W. I think the Bombers win this, easily by double digits. What are they going? This is the best team in the West. What are they going up against? A bunch of backups? What's going to stop them? Can you imagine the Bombers having to win this game, having to get right with their offense, coming off of a bye against a team that clinched weeks ago? So I should have been on the Bombers -3.5 and then bet the double result. I didn't. I'm just on the double result, but I did open it up. So if you wanted, you could. We've seen how that hurts, Jim. We've seen how that hurts, but we saw it hurt the Argos last year, losing to these Alouettes in the Eastern Final. But that doesn't mean they should have tried last week if they wanted to. Fajardo had the baby 2 weeks ago, week and a half ago. I wonder if they're handling this appropriately. But Moss knows what he's doing. He's been in these situations. So if you wanted. Now, Rod Zawacki, now I get it, and I love it. Rod's such a great CFL capper, such a good capper. And he says Mike O'Shea, after covering 8 of their last 10, is 1-4 against the spread as coach of the Bombers. I would put a line through all of those statistics. because one team's not trying. So what stats can you trust? You can't trust any stats for the Alouettes. You can't trust any quarterback stats. You can't trust any running back stats. You can't trust anything. You can't trust defensive stats. So I put a line through all these stats because of motivation. Now, again, you guys know that there are X's and O's cappers, and there are cappers that look for situational spots. Rod's wacky. I love it. I couldn't disagree more. But we'll see. I don't think Montreal gives a fuck. What do they care? You know who they're worried about is the Toronto Argonauts. That's who they're worried about. They're worried about the Eastern Final. But it's fun. It's fun to disagree on capping. It's fun. So I'm on the Blue Bombers double result and minus 125. I think it's just as easy as things get. Now, you could, if you want, parlay, and that's what they were doing last night, the Tiger Cats, the Elks, and the Bombers. You could do that. You could also do what Wham did, and Wham did the double results, and that was about 10-1. So it's up to how you want to do things. I'm just saying, if you don't want to risk much money. Let's talk about the one game here where there is contention, and that is at 7 p.m. Eastern on Saturday night. Calgary Stampeders 4-12-1, 0-8 on the road. At the Saskatchewan Roughriders 9-7-1, 5-3-0 at home. Mosaic Stadium, Regina, Saskatchewan. 42 Fahrenheit, sunny, 5 miles per hour. Now, I'm going to say some things here that people might not agree with, and the only article I read after I set this up, because I just couldn't care less about what anybody else is doing in these spots. We've seen how I went up 33 units in the final month of the NHL season last year because of motivation. I didn't get to crush baseball. I mean, I did catch up about 15 units, but I didn't get, because I'd moved to Thursdays and Fridays in September, so I just wasn't capping baseball enough, it's such hard work capping baseball, and I prefer to do all that work with you guys, so I wasn't betting it on the days I was off. I want situational spots, and the article I read was on the Roughriders, and you heard Bobano. Bobano said that there's no way he would touch the Stampeders. They're 0-8 on the road, and I was like, man, isn't that motivation? I mean, aren't we looking for motivation? And I'll talk about a couple things here. Like Rod Zawacki is saying, this has moved towards the Roughriders. The Roughriders are now -4. The article I read is on the Roughriders. We heard Bobano say there's no way I would touch the Stampeders. I can't understand. I can't comprehend, because the Bombers are going to beat the Alouettes, and immediately Trevor Harris will be pulled from the start. Now, Shea Patterson has something to prove. There is a chance that this game won't go the way I say because of how bad Calgary is. But let me finish with this, okay? This game means something to Calgary. T-Moss, yeah, I don't have a DraftKings account, although I'm going to get one. I'm going to get one because we are now using all of the legal American books here, and we have offers from all of them. So I can't tell you. You need someone else to. But the cappers that we were talking about on the show were all, American. They were all moving on double results. So you'd have to ask other cappers here. Jim DeWigger says Stamps definitely running for the bus. Look, I disagree, and I'll tell you why. Okay, so here we go. We're Mosaic Stadium, Regina, Saskatchewan, 42 Fahrenheit, sunny, 5 miles per hour. The Stamps come. So this has moved, as I told you, a half point towards the Roughriders. And about 10 minutes before the show, thinking about this spot, I was like, okay, I'm going to back this up with money. It's one thing. Look, I'm on the Stampeders plus 3.5, and that's great. But I'm going to double down here with my belief in this football game. And I'm going to bet the double result on the Calgary Stampeders. And I imagine, this was just 10 minutes before, I was like, you got to put your money where your mouth is. Plus 260. I'm going to bet it. So here is why I think the Stamps care. So we know Winnipeg's going to beat Montreal, and the Saskatchewan Roughriders, who are playing their best football of the year, will be playing and hosting the BC Lions in the West Division Final. So let's talk about the spot. Stamps come in off an ugly 42-20 loss at Hamilton. What I saw was a Ticats team that's playing their best football, beating up on Calgary because Dickinson is so upset with Jake Maier and how Jake Maier played this year. Jake Maier completed 72.2% of his passes, 19 touchdowns, 14 interceptions, fumbles, didn't play very well. And he brought in Schiltz. Now, Dickinson maybe thought, look, Schiltz used to play for the Tiger Cats. He's got revenge. Schiltz looked terrible. When Dickinson announced that Schiltz was going to be in there, that's when we hammered double result. We hammered everything. He went 12 of 24 for 124 yards and an interception. He ran 7 times for 43 yards, touchdown. And then he gets injured, and he's replaced by Jake Maier. Now, you guys may remember Jake Maier as quarterback at UC Davis. This is Jake Maier's last game as a Stampeder. So let's talk about the 3 people who are motivated here. Because when Winnipeg wins, there'll be no motivation for the Roughriders, and we'll go into that. You have Dave Dickinson, who should get fired after this year's debacle. His brother got fired from the Roughriders last year. He should get fired from the Stamps this year. Now he is, a very well-known, well-liked quarterback for years in this league, one I cheered for. Then you have the Stampeders who are 0-8 on the road. And that was Bobano's thing. He said, well, how could I back a team that's 0-8 on the road? You don't think that Dickinson wants to not go winless on the road? And then we have Jake Maier. The times where Jake Maier is being tested this year, when the first time he was ditched for Bonner, he came back and played really well. We backed him and we got paid. Jake Maier is going to play a great football game on Saturday night. Everybody's down on him. Everybody's against him. He's got character. Jake Maier is going to play very well. I believe in Jake Maier implicitly here. So we have the quarterback that cares so much, the coach that cares so much. And you know what? That's all I need. Because Saskatchewan comes in off their bye week. They're peaking at the right time. They're coming off their best performance of the season, 39-8 at home over the Lions. They're going to have nothing to play for. Trevor Harris won't play. Shea Patterson will play. Now, remember, A.J. Ouellette is my second favorite running back in the league because he runs right at the teeth of the defense over and over and over again. He's been dealing with a hip injury. He's not going to be out there. There's no way he plays. He's been banged up all season, and he's a tough football player. Smash mouth football player. He's not going to be in the lineup. So if the Stampeders' worst thing is they allow a league worst 6.7 yards per rush attempt, who's going to be rushing the ball on? Who? Nobody. They don't. If Ouellette's not out there, they are incapable. Morrow's hurt. What is Hickson still around? Like, nobody's going to be running the ball against them. And their best offensive lineman won't be on the field. So Samuel Emilus has become the number 1 receiver. He's been excellent. 6 passes for 940. Would you play him? No, not a chance. You can't risk any of these guys. So Action Jackson on the Roughriders -3.5. And again, that's part of the fun. We don't need to agree. But I'm going to put my money where my mouth is. I'm also going to take the Stampeders double result at +260. The Roughriders will have nothing to play for. Now, Shea Patterson will. Madam Alex gives his hat. Shea Patterson will, and maybe he can hurt the Stamps. But Jake Maier and the Stamps will fire. So there you go. You don't have to add the Stamps at the end of a parlay if you just want to bet a little bit on this one. But that's my action for this week. Ticats +115 and Ticats double result at +190. Elks +115. Elks double result at +145. Blue Bombers double result at -125. We went 6-0 on double results the last 2 weeks. 11-1 the last 2 weeks. And then Stampeders +3.5. And I'm going to add the Stampeders double result. You know what I could see here? And with Billy talking about the under, I could see a 7-3 football game here. And the reason why I'm not going to take an under is, what if they pull everybody in the second half? What if the Roughriders pull everybody in the second half? What if the Stamps put up 30 points and then Shea Patterson has something to prove and puts up, a couple touchdowns? I just don't want anything getting in the way of my money. And so I'm going to leave that alone. So there we go. That is CFL for Friday, October 25th. Now, as good as my record looked in CFL, check out how bad it's gone in NHL. So let's get into NHL right now. It's atrocious. 4-0 or 0-4 last night. The losing the Kings on the puck line there with 45 seconds left after Fiala's injury. It's about as angry as I've been. Sucks. So let's get to work here. We start at 6 p.m. Eastern. Ottawa Senators of Vegas Golden Knights. And I'm going to be firing at this. I'm going to fix this, like I have. Last year was an absolute struggle all year. I ended up 17 units. There's only been one season out of the 7 I've rocked with you guys that I've had a losing record in the NHL, and there's not going to be a second. Let's go. Senators, Golden Knights, T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas in Nevada. Vegas is 4-0 at home. We have Linus Ullmark going up against Aiden Hill. Let's use Will Hill line movements here for this one. And again, I'm still figuring out, as we are now working with the legal sports books and trying to legalize sports gambling in Texas, which book I will be using or which books I will be using to give us the proper line movement. You want to know what everybody's doing. Let's get into this one right now. This opened up with Vegas minus 154. They're now minus 137. These market moves have been going up against Vegas quite a bit. And there was a 20 or 25 cent move to the Kings in Vegas's last game coming back from the road trip. Bobano and I were both on Vegas, and it was an easy score. Mally Mal says, when was the last time Ullmark was in goal? He's been out for 4 games. And do we have him confirmed? I don't know if we have him confirmed at this point here. Rodswag says, bet the under the total in Bruce Cassidy games off a win by 2 goals or more over a division rival. Under his record as coach of Vegas, 15-4. Wow. Now, this isn't a division rival here. Of course, yeah. So, I mean, the Kings game was 6-1. But let's get into this. JP says, my only win in NHL day 1-4, my worst day. Yeah, it was horrific, and I didn't help. And I should have been on the wings with bringing in the 2 defensemen, but whatever. So let's roll here. Ullmark, 1-0, 2.58 goals against average, 914 save percentage. Is he going to be in between the pipes is the question. I don't know at this point. He's been hurt for a while now. As I said, he's missed 4 straight games. But it's not just that for Ottawa. I wanted to. I talked myself off of it at the very end of the breakdown because New Jersey had allowed 11 goals in 2 games, and maybe they were going to get, it was just a mistake. If they had been tight defensively, then I would have thought the 2 defensemen coming back would hurt them. But of course, it just hurt them, but it is what it is. So Benjamin Mills on Knights regulation, Knights team total over. And Benjamin Mills says, also Matthew Green says, Vegas has a good record on Nevada in early games. This is an early game. This pops off at 3 p.m. Pacific time. Shout out to Slatsy, who will probably be at this game. T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas, Nevada. So is Ullmark playing? We need to know. That's what we need to know. Aiden Hill, 2-2-0, 3.81 goals against average, 851 save percentage. He's been bad. He was so good last year. It kind of came as a surprise. The Senators come in off their 2nd straight win and 3rd in their last 4 games, 4-0 at Utah on Tuesday night to start a 3-game road trip. They are winning despite all these injuries that they have been dealing with, which has surprised me. We're going to go over their injuries here in a second. So there's been a real heavy move towards, wow, it keeps going. Wow, this got down to, minus 122 for Vegas from a minus 150 opener. Just a huge move there. From a total scenario and the Will Hill move I just talked about as well. The Will Hill, this opened up as a 6. It quickly went up to 6.5. This was yesterday afternoon. And then it came back to 6. So we're right back from where we started on the total. These teams are rolling right now. Shout out to JT. We have JT's birthday here. It's great, man. We have 2 cappers here, Brandon the Great and JT, celebrating their birthday. Great friends of the show. Let me make sure that I have this here so I can remember throughout the show. Brandon the Great and JT birthdays. Happy birthday, JT. JT money in the bank, man. Benjamin Mills says, who is backing the Sens after a shutout win? That's fair. I've moved on 2 of these games and doubled up on 1 of these games, and I haven't moved on this. Ottawa power play at 40.9%. Their penalty killing just 77.8%. Vegas power play has been excellent too at 36.8%. As I said, the Senators are dealing with injuries. What's going on with David Perron? He's now left the team for personal reasons. I don't know why. I don't know when he's coming back, so I'm not going to state anything on the situation. 0 points through 5 games this year, and he's a -4. Artem Zub is out with a concussion. He's not coming back for this one. And Shane Pinto is a game-time decision, and we know how important Pinto can be to this team down the middle. So Pinto didn't practice yesterday, and he has a goal and 3 points. He hasn't missed a game yet this year. 2 hits, 1 block. He played 17 minutes, 22 seconds. He's more than a third-line center. So if Pinto, Perron, and we know that Perron and Zubra, if Pinto's out too, they're going to have to recall someone from the minors. So keep an eye on all of that. So Vegas returns home after losing all 3 games on the Eastern road trip by defeating the Kings 6-1 at home on Tuesday night. If we were too focused on the line movement, we wouldn't have bet Vegas. But again, I bet it the night before, and I was just shocked at the line movement all day. They won 6-1. They won easily. Victor Olofsson is out with a lower body injury. And keep this in mind, while Bill Carlson returns from injury on Saturday, versus the Sharks plays first game of the season. Now, you don't probably want Vegas as that big of a favorite on Saturday, but it's great to have Wild Bill Carlson back in business for this Vegas squad. Look, I'm surprised that it made sense that it went to 6.5. I'm surprised it's come back to 6. I don't know what Yomark is going to give after the injury, but he sure looked great through 2 games. I don't trust Aiden Hill. Vegas came back from that trip after losing 3 straight and was very angry. That anger dissipated with this 6-1 win. So I've not moved on this game, and I don't know if I do. I can understand, though, the feeling for Matthew Green saying Vegas plays well in these afternoon games. Remember, this is a 12 a.m. Sorry. Oh, no, I guess what am I talking about? It's 6 p.m. for Ottawa, so that doesn't even work. Tripping, sorry. So, yeah, I'm off at this spot. JP says, I'll back Vegas at home until they give me a reason not to. JPZ, that worked perfectly with your backing of Winnipeg last night. So I get it. There we go. Billy Friedrich. Wow. That's why we don't talk about anything when they leave for personal reasons. That's why he's had such a bad start to the season. Wow. Perron and his wife had a daughter with some serious congenital pulmonary airway malformation. Sounds very serious. Wow. Well, our hearts go out to the Perron family. He's a quality scorer, quality playmaker. So I hope he can get through that. And that explains why he's been so empty out on the ice. All right. Thank you for that information, Billy Friedrich. Okay, let's roll on to the next spot on the board. 7 p.m. Eastern, New York Islanders 2-2-2, 1-1-1 on the road, and New Jersey Devils 5-4-1, 2-2-1 at home. Remember, there's only 4 games in the NHL, so we're getting MLB here in about 10 minutes. Ilya Sorokin, Jake Allen, New York Islanders 10.5% power play, 66.7% penalty killing. New Jersey Devils 29.7% power play, 77.8% penalty killing. Let's get into the line history here for this one. This total is right now at Will Hill at 6 at -125 to the over. There's 6 cents of movement to the over. The initial move was towards the under. We have a vividness bias of Islanders unders, and maybe we should go back to that. Despite them having more weapons offensively, Sorokin is the best goaltender in the National Hockey League this year, and he almost lost his job at the end of last season. This line has the Islanders at +115, so it has moved towards the Islanders slightly. Will Hill opened this up at +124. So we've had a 9-cent move towards the Islanders. There was a bigger one. Now, I would be on the Islanders in this situation. They're allowing 2.17 goals per game with a terrible penalty killing. Now, their power plays will start scoring, but it's done nothing thus far, 10.5%. They come in off a 1-0 loss at home over Detroit on Tuesday night, but they lose Anthony Duclair out 4 to 6 weeks with a lower body injury. He's looked great. 2 goals, 1 assist through 5 games. He's been on that top line with Bo Horvat and Matthew Barzal. And those guys need truculence, and that's what Duclair gives them. The Devils are on the second half of back-to-back after losing their 3rd straight game, 5-3 at the Wings last night. It was Pesci's first game in Devils uniform. Luke Hughes also returned from injury and played his first game. They've allowed 16 goals over their past 3 games. This is an angry Devils group. They look bad at the wings. I don't like fading teams on the second half back-to-back after they look bad and lose in the first game, which is going to get me off of the Islanders. In a regular situation, Coin saying Jake Allen confirmed. Jake Allen's not looked good. 3.01 goals against average, 880 save percentage. I would be on the Islanders in any regular situation, but I can't do it here. It would just upset me too much. Because I know it's the second half of back-to-back after they didn't look good in the first game. So I'm off. But let's go to the spots I'm hammering. 8:30 p.m. Eastern, Nashville Predators at the Chicago Blackhawks. Oh, and the 10-star play today is Islanders money line. Islanders money line here. Oh, sorry. Do you mean you're saying Ottawa 3-15 on the road last year versus non-conference? Ottawa sucks on the road. Rod, are you talking about Vegas money line? Because Ottawa's playing Vegas. Please let us know because we want to know your 10-star play today badly. Please let us know. Xavier Oliver in the house. Okay, let's get back to this spot here, the first spot that I moved on. 8:30 p.m. Eastern. Predators 1-5-0, 0-1-0 on the road at the Chicago Blackhawks. 2-4-1, 1-2-0 home. United Center, Chicago, Illinois. We have UC Saros going up against Peter Mrazek. Jermaine is on the Preds -1 here. I'm not sure if it is Mally Mal. Because of the Ottawa, let's just wait till he confirms it, because he's giving us the reasons why he's fading Ottawa. The Islanders aren't playing Ottawa, so let's just give it a second. Oh, okay, sorry. Islanders is the play of the day, but not using the Ottawa. Okay, the Ottawa stats are for something else. Okay, let's roll here. Predators, Blackhawks, UC Saros, Peter Mrazek. Nashville power play 18.2%, penalty killing 89.5%. Chicago power play 27.3%, penalty killing 79%. It's funny. I moved on this last night, and I got a message early this morning from our guy Nutflush Allen. He's like, "How do we not move on the over in this game?" And I was like, "I have moved on the over, but this over is moving against us. Why is it moving against us? It's very uncomforting. 16-cent move against us." I do think that I have a vividness bias of Mrazek being terrible. I know he wasn't terrible last year. I also think that the Blackhawks will play the overs, but this went to 5.5 offshore, came back to 6, and Will Hill has moved this, as I said, 16 cents to the under. Let's see what 365. So I bet this over 6 at -110, and now this is over 6 at even money. So now we have a 10-cent move against us. Shout out to Res Mob in the house. Great to see you. And I'm on the Predators -1 at -117. The Predators coming off their first win of the season, 4-0 at home over the Bruins on Tuesday night. We stayed off all of their futures because of the scenario that we see over and over and over again in NHL and NBA. And that's the team that makes the most exciting changes in the offseason. Doesn't play very well and needs a year to kind of get used to the new players in the system. People are asking what's wrong with March or so. They should be asking what's wrong with Stamkos. 1 goal, no assists, -6 through 6 games. This is a healthy group, too. There are no injuries or anything to explain for why they're not playing well. I think that 4-0 at home over the Bruins win galvanizes the troops. They get together. They head out to Chicago. They don't take Chicago lightly, even though some teams will, because they're 1-5 on the season, because they've lost their only road game. Blackhawks coming off their second straight loss in 3rd and 4 games, 6-3 at home to Vancouver on Tuesday. Alec Martinez is out of the lineup with a groin injury. He's an important defenseman for their top 4. He brings accountability. He's a vet. He's expected to be back Saturday night in Dallas, so he's very close to coming back. So he's supposed to be back tomorrow night. 15 blocks in 4 games this year. He's a top 4 defenseman when healthy. I am on the Predators -1 at -117, and I'm on Nashville, Chicago over 6 at -110. Again, that total is going heavily against me, but Nutflush saw the same things that I did, so we'll see how that bangs out. Benjamin Mills says draw. Nothing wrong with the draw, but I tell you what, Nashville, if you look at these two rosters, Nashville's so much better than them, and I think that they're going to be as serious as can be coming to this game 1-5 and coming off their first win. Rod Zawacki says bet over the total Nashville road games and playing against a bad team in the first half of the season. The overs record in 2023, 6-0. Shout out to Markel in the house and Nate Dogg leaning Chicago money line and Bedard to score. Then the final spot on the board. Now this might be something that I add is the over in this one. 9 p.m. Eastern. I'm on the Oilers on the puck line, -1.5 at +115. That's still available right now. This total's just, I guess it's just climbing too fast and I have to let it go. Maybe I have to let it go. It's just climbing here. It's a minus 135 at Bet365. It's a minus 137 over at Will Hill. This opened up at minus 110. I probably should have been on it earlier, and that's okay. I'm going to let it go. I'm going to let the total go. But I am on the Edmonton Oilers here. Nedeljkovic, he started the season a little late due to injury. 869 save percentage. Stuart Skinner is coming off his best game of the year. They were raving about him. 866 save percentage right now. He's looked terrible. The Edmonton power play is 10.5%. How long will that last? Edmonton's penalty killing is at 54.6%. And it's a real problem. And it's a real problem against the Penguins because their power play last year was so horrific. It made no sense. Made no sense bringing in Carlson. And again, you bring in Carlson, you change the dynamic. It takes a year to get comfortable. Now they're going to have a top 7 or 8 power play in the league. I just want to say one thing about the Edmonton Oilers, and then we'll move on here. But it's pretty clear to me what the hell is going on. And when you look at their defense, Troy Stecher, Ty Emberson, all of a sudden they're smaller. They're slower. Brett Kulak, Stecher, and Emberson are 3 of your 6 defensemen. You're certainly not winning a cup with that defensive core. Then you have Zach Hyman, of course, known as Shaq Hyman. He's done nothing all season. We've had nothing. This is a guy who had, 54 goals last year? They gave him the night off. I guess they didn't. I thought they were going to give him the night off one of those games on the road, but they didn't. He's not scoring. He hasn't scored. He's not looking good, and he's got to roll. Rod Zawacki says, Pittsburgh money line for me is Edmonton offense sucks. Ass. Only scoring 1.8 goals a game. Yeah. I mean, the Edmonton Oilers have the best offensive players on the planet. So I'm not, and I also want to fade the Penguins as much as possible. So I can understand after 7 games, you saying in this short sample size, the Edmonton Oilers offense sucks ass. But the Edmonton Oilers offense is not to be worried about with McDavid and Draisaitl. So look, I want to fade Pittsburgh Penguins every opportunity I get all year. I made the mistake not fading them against Winnipeg just because of the situation of Winnipeg coming off that game against San Jose. That was a mistake. I didn't fade them against Calgary. I didn't think the price was right, and I never want to bet Calgary, and Calgary won in a shootout. And then I'm not going to miss it up here. I want to fade Pittsburgh every single opportunity I get all season long. So here we go. I'm on the Oilers -1.5 plus 115, and I'm not going to move on the over. So that's it for me in NHL. Nashville, Chicago over 6, Predators -1, and the Oilers -1.5 at plus 115. It is time to move on to Major League Baseball. Thank you guys for rocking with us for CFL and NHL. I love what I've done in CFL the last 2 weeks. It means a ton to me, and I just despise what I've done in NHL to start the year, and I apologize for the poor capping. And I will dig deep and change that as fast as possible here. But let's move on to Major League Baseball. We got exactly the group for the Game 1 of the World Series. I can't wait to talk about this game, all of the moving parts. Ricky Bobby in the house, what's happening? So let's roll. Let's start by bringing on my co-host here on Betting with the Bag, our producer, the star of Betting with Bouquet every Wednesday, coming to us from San Antonio, Texas, home of the Alamo Card Show that we are a big part of. If anybody's looking to get a table at the Alamo Card Show, please hit that email, that Gmail there at the bottom of the screen. It's a big deal for us. We'll have a table there. We're also going to be shooting live there. There's also a party at 6:30 p.m. There, and that is that on the Friday or is that on the 16th or the 17th? Jose? Oh, 16th says right there. Sorry. So that's on the Friday night after the card show ends at 5 p.m. It's at 6:30. So please support the Alamo Card Show if you're in Texas. Go get cards or sneakers, and also if you're looking for a table, hit that email. Let's get started and bring on our guy from San Antonio, Texas, home of the Southtown 101, Jose Bouquet, to the show. Jose, how are you?
Jimmy, I'm doing well. Let me know if my mic sounds a little weird. I had to mess with the knobby knobs. But
they're called knobs. They're called knobs.
Yeah, I'm doing well. Can't complain. Excited to become a full-fledged Doyers fan this week. It's going to be fun.
And you are a Viking today? Is that what's...
Yeah, I'm a Viking. Yeah, I'm a Viking today. Yeah, a Japanese Viking specifically. Shout out to my guy.
Japanese Viking. Okay. All right.
What? You don't like the outfit today? You don't
No.
like the?
No, I like it. I like it. It looks great.
Fair enough. Thank you.
Great to have you. King Al in the house. Wine Time said he's not leaving the house today. Are you excited about this World Series?
No, not even a little bit. It's a fun World Series because we've got all the narratives, obviously. Two best players in baseball, a guy that potentially maybe stole an MVP from Ohtani, et cetera, Juan Soto. There's a lot of great narratives, two great big powerhouse franchises, but no, I'm not particularly excited because I don't really want either one of these teams to win. But I am, in fact, rocking my Dodger blue. So, but yeah, it's gonna be at least entertaining in some aspects.
Well, speaking of Dodger blue, let's bring on our next guest. His baseball team is in the World Series, and he is stuck in Tennessee. He is probably nonplussed about the situation, as he was there the last time they were in the World Series. And it is time to hear his breakdowns with us today. Please welcome the star of the Odds Bunch YouTube channel, Sharpie, in the house. Sharpie, how are you?
I mean, I'm doing well, bro, Jose. I mean, I never am I not impressed by what you got going to where I had to go Google, were there ever Japanese fucking Vikings? And no, there fucking wasn't. You know what? You know what a Viking is considered in Japan? They refer to buffets because the very first buffet in China was a Viking buffet. So over there, they think of big fat hippos when they think of Vikings.
I like where the sound of this is going.
Thank you for doing the research for us.
Have to, bro. We have to do research.
You have to. Oh, it's imperative. Is Jose going into your black book?
Negative. He's middle of the rotation type guy, you know. He hasn't worked his way up yet. But the guy on his jersey is probably in there.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. But he is no chance. They've said no chance that Ohtani is pitching here in the World Series. I can't believe people were hoping for it, but we'd be told
it's
no
because
chance.
of his bullpens and stuff. But he's on track, and when they seen his bullpens and how the ball's moving and he's throwing every pitch, they're like, "Well, why can't he do that versus live batters?" Never say never.
Nutflush says, do we have any way to make Jose go live if the Yanks are winning? I think we should probably do a live stream if we can get to Game 6 or Game 7. We'll talk with Sharpie and Jose and our next guest because we want them all involved. Please welcome our next guest, the star of Medicaid Mondays and the Tailgate, coming to us from Dallas, Texas, drafted in the Major League, signed with Major League Baseball team, signed by the Pirates, drafted by the Brewers, and very helpful here. The perfect group for us to cap Game 1 of the World Series. Please welcome Daby Cab to the show. Daby, how are you?
Man, even if you don't like the Yankees or the Dodgers, it's Yankees-Dodgers. I mean, you got Yankees-Dodgers in the World Series. I can't, like I said, you don't have to like either of these teams to appreciate what we've got going right here.
Well put. And we know that baseball and Major League Baseball is appreciating what we have here. You know that for sure. I mean, this is just a huge score for a sport that has been kind of at times dying over the last few years. So this is exactly what Bud Selig ordered. Let's roll.
Jesus, Bud Selig, huh?
I mean, I know he's not around anymore, but he's the only guy I think of when I think of
#, fuck Manfred. Okay,
Yeah,
I've been
fuck
tweeting
that
that
guy.
for like 4 years, so I do know the damn motherfucking commissioner of the MLB.
Shout out to Kennesaw, Mountain Landis.
Okay, let's roll. Fap win says he's aroused by over the game total here.
It's nice to see Fap win and
It
his
is.
gigantic vat of lube.
A vat of lube. Now, I don't think he talks about it as much since Diddy has come out with his vat.
Oh, no.
I do think that I don't think, because as far as I know, Fap has not talked about his vat of lube since we saw Diddy's.
Are you implying that they could be the same vat of lube?
No, not at all. I'm sure Fap is in a vat that he just goes in, pulls out. I mean, Diddy has his all lined up. pretty nice.
Yeah, but there's also the Yankees and Dodgers. If you guys want to talk about that instead of Diddy.
Oh, he's right. He's right. Let's get to work. Thank you guys but we are talking about Fap win. It's the first thing that comes in our mind is a vat of lube.
Diddy? Shout out to you, Fap Win. I'm sorry about that.
No. He doesn't say Diddy. It's just lube. Lube is being ruined forever now because of the Diddy trial. Okay, let's get to work here. 8:08 p.m. Eastern, World Series Game 1. The New York Yankees, 94-68, 50-31 on the road at the LA Dodgers, 98-64, 52-29 at home. Dodger Stadium in Los Angeles, California. Let's talk about there's so much to talk about. We'll start, of course, with the weather, and then we will get into the pitchers, the batters, the market, the cash, but we need Sharpie to talk about the velocity issues of Jack Flaherty. We have 70 Fahrenheit at first pitch. It's a warm night. Feels like a little 60, a little cooler. 6.3 miles per hour to right field, dies down to 3.6 miles per hour. Let's get into the cash flow here because I know Fap talking about the over, but I can't help but feel like in all of these series that we've seen, these games start out with unders, and then as you get more comfortable and more used to the it's Flaherty pitching, right? Jose, nothing's changed, has it?
Yes, no, yeah, it's Flaherty. Yes,
Okay,
I'm
good.
changing it as we speak.
Cool.
I've seen Jose's mind working. I've seen him.
Yes, don't you worry.
Let's get into the line history right now. You can get the Yankees as high as plus 115. Will Hill, they're plus 110. At some books, they've opened up at plus 107 and moved up to plus 115. At 365 right now, we have them at plus 110. So the lines move slightly towards the LA Dodgers. The total, and I know a lot of people looking at the over, is climbing very fast. We have 9s now. This opened up at 8. It moved to 8.5. That over 8.5 at Will Hill was minus 105 on Monday. On Tuesday, it moved to 8.5 minus 115. On Thursday, it moved to 8.5 at minus 125. This morning, if you want the 8.5 at Will Hill, it's minus 138. Wow. So a huge move towards the over. We go to the cash flow next. Sorry, I have it here somewhere. Maybe I don't have it up. My bad. Let me get it up here. Oh, yeah, it's right here. God, tripping. 75% of tickets, 77% of cash is on the LA Dodgers. And on the total, 77% of tickets, 72% of cash is on the over. I have to think that this moves towards the under. I have to think that there are people thinking that 9 is too high for World Series Game 1. Garrett Cole in the regular season was 8-5, 3.41 ERA, 1.13 WHIP, 99 Ks in 95 innings, 29 walks, 11 homers. In the playoffs, he's gone 1-0 with a 3.31 ERA and a 1.53 WHIP, 16 1/3, 12 Ks, 6 walks, 1 homer. In his last start, he went 4 1/3. He allowed 6 hits and 2 earned runs, 4 Ks and 4 walks, and a 6-3 win at home over Cleveland in the ALCS. On the road this year, he was really good, better than he was at Yankee Stadium. On the road, he was 5-3 with a 2.49 ERA. Opponents hit 198 off him. He had 51 strikeouts, just 12 walks, and 47 innings. Then we have Jack Flaherty, the elephant in the room. Maybe he's not. The market's saying he's not. 13-7, 3.17 ERA, 1.07 WHIP, 162 innings, 194 Ks, 38 walks, and 24 homers. In the playoffs, he had one fantastic start to get that NLCS going, and then he had one terrible start. In the playoffs, he's 1-2 with a 7.04 ERA, 1.43 WHIP. He has just 8 Ks in 15 1/3 and 7 walks. He's allowed 3 jacks. That was 3 innings where he allowed 8 earned runs and a 12-6 loss at the Mets. Flaherty noticed, well, we all noticed the dip in his velocity in Game 5 of the NLCS, 91.4 miles per hour. His fastball has dipped below 92 miles per hour in 3 of his past 5 starts. That he claims, and they claim, that it's the mechanics of the delivery that is impacting his velocity. But we know that on 6 days rest, he dominated in the start of the NLCS, and on traditional 4 days rest, he struggled in Game 5. Here, he is on extended rest. Let's talk about him right now, and Sharpie, do the honors. Flaherty and Cole, and how are you moving on this game?
Let's get to it, man. Jack Flaherty, guys, you talked about it. It's the rest. And I get into it, and I dug, and I mean, I had all fucking week to sit here and get high and dig into shit and keep digging. So here's what I got on Flaherty. Jack Flaherty, guys, on rest, regular season and postseason combined. After 3 weeks of the season, because I don't care, like with Garrett Cole, I took out his first few weeks too. I never count the first 3 weeks of anybody because they're working through stuff. He was working through his new mechanics. Jack is on 6 days of full rest, as this is the way I graded this as 6 and go. On regular rest this season, so pretty much no rest at all, he has 7 games with a 5.5 ERA, 37 innings pitched, only 3 quality starts in those 7 games. You give him the extra day rest of 5 days rest, 14 games with a 3.71 ERA. Then you give him 6 days rest like he's on today. He's got 2 games with a 0 ERA. We're going to go to 7 days rest. He's got, or 7 or more days rest this year. He's got 5 games with a 2.25 ERA. So all in all, guys, Jack Flaherty on regular rest has a 5.5 ERA. Give him an extra day, it drops to 3.7. Anywhere from 6 to 9, it drops to 0.72. The more rest, the fucking better for this guy. So what I just read, guys, obviously tells me I think he's going to shine today. Well, we also know, guys, that Jack, the elephant in the room is his velocity. Well, at the beginning of the year, guys, we knew he changed his mechanics. And if you actually go back and watch that video where he talks about it right after spring training, he talks about it wasn't crazy tweaks or anything. It was becoming less mechanical and more athletic, as this dude was a shortstop coming up through college. This dude was a very athletic human being. They wanted him to be more athletic and stop being so mechanical. Okay, athleticism needs freaking rest, it shows with this man, guys. So I go back and I look at Jack Flaherty's last start on regular rest, on 4 and go, like he got touched up when his velo was down. And holy motherfucking Lamb of God, we've got us a fucking banger, guys. As the last time he pitched on 4 days rest was in September, and his velo was down 2 miles per hour, didn't top past 92 in his start versus the Miami Marlins. His last start came back in July on regulars rest. So they have known with Yoshi to give him rest, but they're also seeing what I think that I'm seeing, guys, and that is the 6 to 9 day frame. This guy fucking shines, and I do expect him to come out and shine. And I'll get to my bet, though, once I talk about Garrett Cole. As Garrett Cole, he's on 8 or more days rest, guys, and he's only had that 2 times over his last 2 seasons. And one of those games, he didn't do well. And the other game, he still didn't do too well. He didn't go past 5.2 innings in any game, giving up 2 and 4 runs respectfully. Now, I only bring that up, guys, because the first game this postseason was on big rest like he is on today, and he was off. And the radio hosts were talking about how the long rest just wasn't looking good for Cole. And we're back in that spot again. Now, I am having a problem with just straight fading Cole, as he is coming off a bad start, not going 5 innings versus the Guardians on October 15th. And when we look at Cole this year, when he hasn't gone 5 innings, as I did throw out the first 2 games, guys, coming back from injury, he goes in the straight shutdown mode. 3 games this year after not going 5 innings or more, he's averaging 6.2 innings of work while having a immaculate 1.35 ERA in that span. So if you want to go back to last year too, okay, there's 2 more games, both quality starts. His ERA now in the last 2 years and bounce back spots is a stupid 1.9. So what gives? Is it the long rest, or does he come back in shutdown mode like he has in the past and over the past 2 years? And we've got 5 games to look at that. We're only 2 games over the last 2 years to look at his extra rest. So I'm like in a conundrum fuck of what to expect from Cole. Yet I do have ample numbers that tells me why Jack Flaherty's freaking velo was off, that he pitches better in this type of spots. And then I go look at their outs. And holy fuck of God, Garrett Cole at a 15.5 at good plus money to the over when he's been nothing less than a 17.5 all playoffs tells me, guys, he's only going 5 innings tops today. No, I don't just bet on what the books are telling me. I do see a spot where he can give up 2 and Jack gives up 2. Now, I lean the Dodgers, but lean don't pay the bills, and it seems like the books are going to fuck me on this one. As I went to go look to take the Yankees' first 5 team total under 2.5, because Jack Flaherty's outs are 14.5 juiced, his earned runs are 2.5, so I'm like, okay, I can get 2.5 in the first 5 innings. It's a 1.5 to the plus money. They're not giving me 2.5. They think Jack Flaherty deals. I think fucking Jack Flaherty deals. I think I figured out why. And if I'm right, I'm fading him in the next time out because he's pitching on 4 and go, and he shows me he can't fucking handle 4 and go. What he has shown me is he needs the rest, and he pitches well on good rest. So give me the Yankees team total under 4.5 at -140. I get the Dodgers good arms if Cole doesn't show up. And if Cole does show up, I still get the Dodgers good arms because it's a close game. So give me the team total of the Yankees under. I wanted the outs over. I wanted this. I wanted that. And it was just like, you know what? I still have a chance of hitting the team total under if Jack's not on. They're going to be watching that velo. They know what to watch for. And if he's not on, they're taking him fucking out and going into a bullpen game. Like, the Dodgers are not going to go out there and just sacrifice, but I don't think that's what we get today. I think we get Jack Flaherty. Now, everybody and their mom's going to take Rizzo props, okay? And this is my one knock to that. Not saying they don't hit. If Jack Flaherty's on, Rizzo ain't fucking seen this guy. I don't care about all those past history numbers. That was Jack Flaherty before he changed Jack Flaherty, and I've made so much money off of these numbers versus Jack Flaherty throughout the year, and they just ain't come to fruition. This is new Jack, and if he's up to that 94 on his fastball, I think it's going to be a tough day for these Yankees.
I am shocked at those numbers for Garrett Cole. Here at 365, his outs are at 15.5, -150 to the under. And then
but I
Flaherty,
also looked into that. If you look at who hits them, Freeman hits them, Betts hits them. So they're pretty much saying, like, you got to see them 3 times. What's the chance? They're saying he ain't going to make it through it at that. They're like, with them offering plus money on the 15.5, it seems like that's going to be a super bet prop today. This is Garrett fucking Cole. This fucking going 6. Aaron Boone's, this is how I would normally run to it. But fuck, that scares the dog piss out of me. But then Freeman and Betts both hit him 300 plus. Teoscar and Ohtani both can strike out multiple times, but they both can take you deep.
+120 to the over. And then Flaherty, as you said, is 14.5, -155 to the over. The best lines I'm seeing on the earned runs are at 365. They're both 2.5s. They're both 2.5s. -130 to the under for both.
So why is his a 2.5 earned run for Flaherty? They're only projecting him 5 innings, but I can't bet it under 2.5 first 5. Like, why?
Wow.
I wanted to. I thought I was going to get that. So I was just like, fuck, man. I looked at that under 2.5 earned runs, but what if he goes fucking 7 and gives up 3?
Either Garrett Cole or Flaherty to record the win. Garrett Cole +220, Flaherty +260. I mean, so the books are saying that neither makes it through 5.
Coin toss, they're saying. Wow. Yeah, they're saying Flaherty is freaking. They don't know what to do with Flaherty, and they're saying for sure with how much money is going to come on Garrett Cole's outs, which will be way more than Flaherty's outs. If anything, people are fading the velo and what just happened with him, and they may be right. I'm not, but I mean, I went through it, and once I seen like. Something in my head said, go check that Miami game. And this morning, bro, take a couple gravities. I go pull up the Miami game, start looking pitch by pitch. And I was like, my dick got hard. I was like, his velo is down. His velo is down. I was like, oh, fuck, his velo is down. Like, okay, good. Like this is a reoccurring theme that I'm seeing now. And when he pitches on short rest, it's not been good. So if I'm right today, I'm fading him fucking the next time out, sad to say.
Yeah. Absolutely. We have our guy Guillermo Zertucci in the house, big Dodger fan, a big night for him and the family. By the way, we did the records, we filed the records on NFL or on our Cappers contest. Over the last 2 seasons, Jose is leading first. He's first over the last 2 seasons for points, or over 3 seasons for points, because he's done 3 seasons. Guillermo's only done 2 seasons. He's 77-44 against the spread. 77. He tied with you, Sharpie, in championship last year. He's leading this year. 77-44, 63.6% against the spread. Guillermo Zertucci. And yes, he'll be on NFL Pub Hub on Sunday. Daby Cab, we go over to you, and then we will let Jose Bouquet, the star of our baseball programming, put a bow on this. BJ says, this is a market movement where keeping me off the Yankees in this spot, where I think they have the edge in starting pitching. Of course, Dodgers going to be short favorites at home, but this is a flip of a coin type game. Daby Cap, we have the Yankees team total under 4.5 for Sharpie. What's your move?
I think some people will see the Yankees with Cole on the mound at plus money and think, I got to take it. And I get it. I mean, I get it. If that's something you've done, you've probably been successful, but it's just not for me here in this game. I would lean towards the Dodgers as a side, but I'll talk about these hitters a little bit because I'm going to attack the props. So, we'll talk about the Yankees first. The one person who I wouldn't want to face right now is Soto. That's, and it's not, there's different approaches at the plate. You got somebody like Judge or Stanton, they're swinging for the fence. It's just what they're doing. And it works for them for the most part, right? Hasn't been working for Judge in the playoffs, but for the most part, it works for them. They're taking the big cut every time. Soto's not that guy, right? He'll stay up there and spoil pitch after pitch after pitch, until he gets the one he wants. And then he'll drive it. And if he doesn't get the one he wants, he'll flick it in, flick it the opposite way into left field for a base hit, just taking great at bats. So if you're looking at a Yankee player, I would go with Soto if you want props here. And history says that some of the hitters like Betts and Freeman and some of these guys on the Dodgers side, they have better numbers against Garrett Cole than where I went with this. But I'm throwing the past out the window in this. This is game 1 of the World Series. I'm taking Ohtani. Okay, he's in the leadoff spot. You're only going to ask me. Let me see. I don't know what the juice is now because I bet it the other day. I did post it though. I just took -110. I took Ohtani over 1.5 bases. Look, he's only hitting 200 off Cole. I understand. I've seen the numbers. He does have 2 extra base hits, a double and a home run. But this is just a spot where Cole's going to come out here. We're cashing this on the first at bat. I'm just going to go ahead and say that right now. Cole's going to come out here and challenge him. He's not going to throw balls to him. He struck Ohtani out enough times to where he's going to pitch right to him. And I think Ohtani is just absolutely locked the fuck in right now. If you look, in his last 15 at bats, he has 6 hits. And I talk about how it's just waves with hitters. He is on the top of a wave right now, and I'm going to keep riding it.
Ohtani over 1.5 bases and -110.
Hey, speaking of hitting real quick, there's something I had to go look up this morning because, I know Giancarlo, don't call me Mike fucking Stanton. This is his hometown ballpark, guys. And, every time I've seen this guy hit the ball out the fucking stadium live. He has the second highest slugging in Dodger Stadium history. This is the fucking oldest ballpark in baseball, guys. He's batting .309. 10 bombs in this stadium in 25 games. I hate to say it. He's their best playoff fucking hitter, and he loves hitting in Dodger Stadium. So another something to look at.
Wow. We got a ton. I knew that there was going to be a move towards the over, but maybe this is too big of a move for me to take the game 1 under. Core Clan 77 looking at Yanks first 5 great bet option. Let's hear what Jose Bouquet has to say about World Series Game 1, and please hit on both pitchers.
Yeah, so it's interesting because Garrett Cole, we all know I don't like, and we all know that he struggles against one certain team, that is the Boston Red Sox. And
I thought that was Helga with us. Shit, Jose, I just now realized that was you. My bad.
No worries. I'm glad you could look. Just keep your eyes up here, Cab, not down here. But Cole, struggles against the Red Sox, and this Dodgers lineup has some Red Sox in it. Obviously, the 2 guys that hit him well, Kike and Mookie Betts. We know where they used to play. Can I be honest, Jim? I don't think the Yankees are a very good baseball team. I think the Dodgers get these guys up out of here in 5 games. I think this is going to be a shit kicking of a series. And I just do not think the Yankees have played anyone really good this postseason. You know, sure, the Guardians, they were fine. They destroyed the AL Central, the Yankees do. Now they're actually playing a good baseball team. Jack Flaherty, you know, maybe he's not a game 1 pitcher that I love against Garrett Cole, but I really think this is the one game the Yankees could win in this series, and they better win this game. And if they don't, I think they're SOL. So
do you think the Dodgers have a better pitching staff than the Yankees?
You know what? Yeah, I really do. I really do. Carlos Rodon's nothing that I'm really all enthralled about. Luis Gil.
When I went through all this earlier too, I was like, maybe the starting rotation edge goes to the Yankees. Maybe.
Exactly.
Okay, because we don't got a lot of starting pitching. We have the better bullpen, and we have the better lineup and the better coach.
Yeah.
Boone didn't have to coach, getting every other day off for the first fucking 3 or 4 games of a series, bro. That ain't coaching. Getting your team through freaking 4 different bullpen games in the playoffs already to make it here. I think, I fucking knock on wood, bro, but I think we have the edge in almost every category coming in.
I really do.
Other than the starting rotation. Garrett Cole, Rodon is, and go into whatever else is deeper than Bueller game 3.
You know what? I'll trust Walker Bueller, a guy that's been in a World Series before, over Clark Schmidt. Jimmy, this is a classic. You have to lose to win. The Yankees have never been here. Half their team has not been here. Garrett Cole's been here in 2019.
If I'm a Dodger fan, I'm just sitting here thinking, Jose, shut the fuck up before you mush this whole fucking World Series right now.
This is a shit kicking, Cap.
He's not betting it though, so we can't mush it.
Okay,
we can't mush it. He's not betting it.
This is the only game I'm not taking the Dodgers in. I said this is the one game they have a shot. And Jack Flaherty on a bunch of rest, I love that. But here's the thing. It's just a little scary that, obviously, like you mentioned, Jimmy, 75, what is it now? 74% of the bets, 63% of the money now on those Doyers. Yankees bets are coming in. But, I just really do not think the Yankees have played anyone that impressive. They haven't faced a lineup this good. And the Dodgers have been here. They've lost before. They've won before. Their manager's been here before. And you know what's funny? That pitching outs line for Garrett Cole, I can't wait to see Aaron Boone trot out to this fucking guy and take the ball from him before the 5th inning adjacent around there. That guy's going to want to stay in, and he's going to be fucking furious when Aaron Boone fucks that up. And all we're going to hear about tomorrow is, why did Aaron Boone pull Garrett Cole so early? Blah, blah, blah. So I can't wait. I just have more belief in Jack Flaherty off that day's rest. The tight schedule is going to hurt him later on. I do like the under in this one as well. I'm just not getting in front of that freight train, Jimmy, either. It's all the way up to 9 now. So I'm like, okay, you know what? I'll sit back. I'll enjoy this game. But I really do think the the Dodgers roll in this series. And I think they win this in 5 games. I just think this is going to be a shit kicking.
Something I heard too, real quick, before you say that. Aaron Boone ain't let go of when the Astros cheated, bro. He was literally talking about that 3 days ago in one of his post-game or one of his press conferences about, well, it's not really fair to talk about how long we haven't been in a World Series because, we were cheated out of that. We stopped talking. We were in that World Series and lost it, bro. You will never fucking hear us talk about that was our World Series. Fuck them. Fuck them in the neck with a spoon. Get over it. They ain't gotten over it.
Yeah, I hear that. Daby Kev, if I gave you $1,000 sitting in the sports book and I said, go bet this total at 9 and you can have half of the winnings, what would you move on?
That's okay. I'll answer, but I want to just say you should put it on Ohtani. but I'll answer. First 5 under.
And it's interesting here. The full game right now is moving to 9. It'll be at 9 here shortly. It surprises me a bit because the first 5 then you would think would be a 5, and it's a 4.5, and it's only minus 115 to the over. But then that doesn't correlate with the fact that none of these starting pitchers none of these starting pitchers look like they're get to 5 innings. Do you think, Sharpie, that's because they're ready to go to the bullpen in the 3rd inning if there's any sign of danger?
I think Jack goes 6 or 7 tonight. And I think the books are playing off of, they've probably been hammered on the under of 15.5 because of his velocity and everything down to where they're comfortable with the 14.5 at minus 150. No one's going to look to go bet that over. If anything, they're just going to leave that alone. They're going to be like, you know what? All I heard this morning was his velocity. Jack's velocity's down. And I'm like, well, no one was saying that shit when Chris Sale's velocity was down. So when the only game was on that game, they all noticed it. And I think they're overplaying it. The books know it. The books know that the velo's down, if we all know. And I mean, literally the MLB stream that day was talking about it.
Wow. I want to move on the under. I had wanted to move on the Yankees to win the World Series, but
Where's the sunset? I know this is a weird question. Where's the sunset in Dodger Stadium?
At 5:08, there's been no shadows. It's 2 past. The shadows are in like right field by then. Of my time, Pacific time. And that's when the game starts. So they've already played like 4 games at this time over the last 2 weeks, and there's been no shadows to bank on. I would have bet it.
And Jose, if you were going to bet an under in this game, would you do it full game or first 5?
Full game, but I think it's going to be close. Like Sharpie said himself, he could see both these guys going 5 innings, 2 earned runs, and first 5 totals 4.5. So it's real dice, but I go full game because they haven't seen the bullpens yet. So we'll get that advantage on that aspect of it. But yeah, full game for me.
And then finally, Jose, do you think that this line is going to continue to go up, or do you think that we've hit the high ceiling or the high water mark on the total, and that this will then move back down to an 8.5 at like minus 115 to the over, minus 105 to the under?
I think it's more likely for it to come back down to 8.5 than it to go to 9.5. Personally,
there's no way this goes to 9.5.
Oh yeah. No. I mean, 8.5 or 9. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
There's no way it goes 9.5. Yeah.
But I think it's more likely to come down. Yeah, than go back. Yeah. Continue going up.
When this moved to 9.5 at 11:05, when this moved to 9 at 11:05 this morning, it was heavily juiced to the under, and then it moved about 6-7 cents towards the over. That was at 11:09 a.m. You could have got the over. Then it became an even money scenario. Then again, right after the show started, this was, just the worst that the under 9 was minus 111. Now it's minus 116. So we had 5 cents of movement towards the under at 9 since this show started. And I want the under. Am I too transfixed on all of these series being low scoring at first because you haven't seen the bullpens, and then once you see the bullpens overused, that these games start soaring over by game 4, 5, 6, 7?
Every game of the Mets and Dodgers series went over, if I'm not mistaken.
Like all the games last series went over. It felt like early in the postseason, I was eating on unders, and then the last series is both of them just getting crushed on unders.
Just blind betting the over Mets and Dodgers was easy. That whole series, I was doing it a little bit.
Yeah, no, I guess that the game 3 probably pushed because it was 8-0.
I think it was 7.5.
It might have been.
Literally every game went over. It was stupid.
So don't you think there's a bias right now with the gambling public on overs?
I think the bias is what people have put into the chat at times. Like, there's no way I can bet an under with these 2 lineups. that each team could carry it on their own. And that is a realistic actual fact.
Yeah.
Oh,
I saw.
a couple things here. Look at this, though. Dan Kelly says Heritage has first 5 Yankees team total under 1.5 and minus 125. I mean, the books are telling us the Flaherty shoves.
Plus 125. He made a
It's
mistake
plus.
there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I looked at that.
Okay,
All the
geez.
books were plus money on that. Yeah, I looked earlier.
Okay, wow. I've got it. Okay, I want the under. If the Dodgers win game 1, I know that they're going to be quite likely percentage-wise to win the series, but I'm going to move on the Yanks to win the series if the Dodgers win game 1. That's going to be my plan. I'm not going to take the Yankees to win the series right now. I'm going to hold off on that. And then I'm going to wait to see if I move on this 9. That's my plan. We have a Daby Cab on Ohtani over 1.5 bases at minus 110. And Sharpie on the Yankees team total under 4.5 minus 140. Daby Cab is staying with us as we go into college football next. Jose, you are staying off, moving on game 1.
Yeah, I'm not going to move on it, and then I'll be rocking my Dodger blue for the rest of the series. It's going to be fun. I cannot wait. I will tell you now, Jimmy, Yankees fan T was telling me as well, why don't we have World Series streams? And I was like, buddy, you could do it if you'd want. So don't be surprised if he joins your football streams watching the Yankees, because he's a Yankees fan, and he'll be, I'm sure, raving during those streams. And yes, if the Yankees get lucky enough to get to a game 6 and 7, I will be watching on screen with you guys, sure. And you guys will watch me sweat out this Yankees World Series bullshit that I hope they don't win. So good luck, everyone.
We'll have chances, right? Because the game 3 is Monday.
Yep. Yeah, there's a
game. Why we have the Monday stream, yeah. Sorry.
And in game 2, I believe Tuesday. Also, yeah. So we will have opportunities
Wednesday night and Friday night. Let's set that up for game 5. If it goes in game 6, we can set those live streams up.
Yeah. So we'll see all that happening. But good luck, everyone. And as always, fuck the Yankees.
There he is, Jose Bouquet. Sharpie, are you going on the Odds Bunch YouTube channel over the next few days for the World Series?
I'm going to go take a fucking gravity, and then I'm going to go take a nap, and then I might rub one out and then watch the game. So fucking go Doyer.
There we go from Sharpie. And Dabracadabra staying with me as we get into college football. A couple things that I want to mention here to Wally. Yes, we are Breeders' Cup Friday and Saturday, and we definitely want you involved, Fat Wally. We also want Razor to cancel his vacation as well, or someone to go get Razor, throw him in the van, tape him up, not in front of the kids, and then get him set up. So
he's going on another vacation. I thought he was on vacation this week.
No, it's next weekend during the Super Bowl of horse racing.
Oh, okay, yeah, because he's going to miss next Monday. That's right. Okay,
not this Monday coming up, is he? Oh yeah, he's gone for the 7 days. Yeah.
He's going to miss this Monday, Medicaid Monday. He'll miss
it. And then Rem Most, as you know, we have moved to the promoting the legal American sports books, and that's what we'll be doing as we move forward. But the poker tournament that you were in, if you go to your account, because you placed between 3rd and 14th, I remember because they gave no prizes to them. I emailed them. I said, "What's going on?" You told me there were the prizes, and they apologized. Those tickets are in your account right now. So if you go to your poker account, you will have a ticket to get into a big poker tournament, and then you'll also receive, as our apology type thing, $11 in tournament dollars to get into more tournaments at that site. So that was just want to make sure that you knew that. So go back, Rem, and look, and you'll get your action. Okay, there we go. Okay, it's time to talk college football. We got 3 games, and we got beauties. I mean, this is as good of a Friday night slate as I've ever seen. We have our experts here in college football rocking with us. Dabra Cadabra, fresh off 3-0 board sweepage with Pistol Pete Loshak last week. And we have our guy, Wine Time Sports, rocking with us from Los Angeles, California. Wine Time in the house. How are you, my man?
What up, boys? Good to be here with you guys, man, on a Friday. Excited to talk some college football and some NBA after this, man. But, didn't have anything in the games yesterday. I was leaning on that Syracuse side live, and I'm glad I didn't end up moving on it because they got smacked, man. I was very surprised at the outcome of that game.
Yeah, the line
I'm glad
made
I didn't
no
bet that.
sense though. When it came out at 5.5, that's when that got me off Syracuse immediately. What it should have done was got me on Pittsburgh. Let me also say what a great job both you gentlemen have done here on the program. Daby Cab 13-9, 59.1%. ROI plus 13.18% plus 2.9 units, average line minus 112. Wine Time Sports 32-23, 58.2% plus 6.3 units, ROI plus 11.45%, average line minus 12. Both of these gentlemen have ROIs in the double digits. What more can you ask for? Excellent, excellent work. Let's get to work. Ron Crawford in the house giving us his play of the day. We also have action from Cappers in the chat that we will go over. And we have here in our first game action in the chat from our guy, Justin McKelvey. The Stacks play of the day number 1 is Boston College team total over 21.5. Shout out to our guy, Justin.
Stacks, 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 stacks.
All right, let's get to work, and we have a beauty on our hands. 7:30 p.m. Eastern. We have the Louisville Cardinals 4-3, 2-2 in the ACC at the Boston College Eagles 4-3, 1-2 in the ACC. We're at Alumni Stadium in Chestnut Hill, Massachusetts. 52 Fahrenheit, 3 mile/hour winds. Weather is a non-issue. Louisville has lost 3 of 4, and they were all within 1 score, all within 7 points. They lose 31-24 at Notre Dame. They lose 34-27 at home at SMU. They lose at Virginia 24-20, and they lose 52-45 in a barn burner in at home versus Miami. Boston College does have a 2-day rest advantage, but that was a wild game for Louisville last out. 448 total yards, but Miami put up 538, and Miami covers as 4.5-point favorites. It was wild game. Wild game. 38-31 Miami going into the fourth quarter. Louisville tied it up. It was as fun as college football gets unless you were on the under. Boston College off of 2 straight losses, both on the road. When we saw them at home, they beat middling football teams in Michigan State 23-19 and Western Kentucky 21-20. Then they went on the road, lost at Virginia and at Virginia Tech. And again, Louisville having the 2-day rest advantage. Boston College having 2-day rest advantage. Louisville just played 6 days ago. So it's a short week for Louisville off a very, very difficult football game. Let's get into the odds here. We're going to go back and forth. So this one, unless you would prefer Wine Time to go first, Daby Cab, it's whatever you would want. Because I was planning on.
It don't matter.
We'll go back and forth. So we will start with Wine Time first, and then we'll go with Daby Cab first for Boise State UNLV. We're using Will Hill line movement. This is at 7.5 at minus 118. Will Hill puts a lot of juice on their college football, and minus 118 on each side. Not enjoyable for gamblers. This opened up at 7 and moved to 7.5, which is where it is right now. This was back at 7 2 days ago. There's been no movement at Will Hill here for a while, but we have a half-point move towards Cardinal in this one. If we look at other books, it's the same deal. It's a 7 to a 7.5. That 7.5 is juiced to Boston College. When we get to the total in this one, we have a 54.5 that is market wide. This opened up at 50.5. So we've had a huge move to the over. And Will Hill, this opened up at 50.5, and 7 minutes later it moved to 53. Now, other books, we don't see that kind of drama in the total. We see a 53.5 to 54.5. But regardless of where you look, there's this move to the over. When we get to the cash flow here for this one, we have 57% of the tickets and 63% of the cash on Louisville line moving towards them. And on the total, We have 31% of tickets and 55% cash on the under, and this line moving away from that. Take it away for us, Wine Time. ACC action for us. Cardinals, Eagles.
Yeah, Jim. Talk about the coaching matchup right here. Jeff Brom against Bill O'Brien. Two coaches that I highly respect. Louisville, man, they've had a tough schedule this season. Not a lot of people are talking about that right now. I know you touched on it, Jim. I mean, a loss to, let's see right here. Lost to Miami by 7 last week. I mean, Miami, everyone's been kind of playing Miami pretty tough here. They definitely got some points in garbage time, but they definitely hung tight with them. And this offense over here, I mean, Tyler Shuck, I mean, this is an NFL type guy, 6'5", 225. He's got a big arm. He was at Texas Tech last year, transferred over here to Louisville, had some really high expectations. He definitely, I mean, they're halfway through the season. I didn't expect them to have 3 losses at this point. But I definitely don't think they're going to give up quite yet here in the ACC. Still have a chance to win out here. Talk about another 7-point loss to SMU, an SMU team that's really good this year, a team that's making a lot of noise in that conference, and then a loss to Notre Dame, another team that's going to be in the college football playoff most likely. With that being said, Boston College, man, coming off, big loss to Virginia Tech, man. The only reason Boston College was able to get on the scoreboard in that one is because they forced 2 turnovers, the first 2 drives of the second half on Virginia Tech in their own territory. They only needed to get 15 yards to punch it in. Yeah, they had to force the turnovers, and they do have some good guys over there on defense. But this offense, man, that Bill O'Brien runs, I've never been a big fan of his offense, honestly. He runs a very slow pro-style offense. That's just not good for today's college football, if you ask me, in this conference, specifically in the ACC. He's got a lot of coaching experience, and his guys are going to be out there playing for him. I think Louisville has a little bit more to play for in this one. It's open up at a 6.5, and we're seeing more of the tickets and money coming in on Louisville, and they moved it up to a 7.5 till I get it. I don't think I can take it here at a 7.5. It looks like the sharper money's coming in on Boston College in this spot at home. The fans should be rocking out for this one. They should be 45,000 strong there. It doesn't hold a lot of people, but it should be sold out, and these fans should be rocking. With that being said, took a look at the over as well. I mean, you touched on it, opened up at 50.5 to start the week. Wish I would have got on it earlier in the week. I was looking at it last couple of days at 53.5, and I saw today it went up to a 54.5. Do I think this is a game that can go over? Absolutely. It's just tough, man, because Boston College, if they have some of these long, slow drives and they don't get points out of them, I don't know if they're going to be able to hold their part of the bargain. I definitely think Tyler Shuck's going to get off right here, man. I mean, this guy, look at his stats this season. He's got a guy named Ja'Cory Brown, who a really big target, 679 yards, 8 touchdowns, 6'3", 200 pounds. Big red zone target. Look out for that. And then you look at the true freshman from Louisville too, Isaac Brown, man. This kid's 18 years old out there. He's averaging 8.3 yards a carry this season. Wasn't the starter coming into this year, but the last couple of games he started to take over that role. And this kid's looking like a stud out there. And Jeff Brom, man, this guy's an offensive guy. So I trust that their offense is going to be able to put points on the board here. I got nothing on this game right now. The more I'm talking about it, kind of puts me on maybe a team total over for Louisville. Haven't looked at the team total on that yet. What can you give me right now, Jim?
I will align shop for you. We have lots of looks from Louisville here in the chat. Kong's clips on Louisville first half. Wager detective on Louisville minus 7.5. I was thinking about what Nuke Worker said about Will Hill, and we're not putting up promos for Will Hill or anything. Why am I giving you the line history when they take 18 cents on each side? That's just a mistake by me. Again, I'm figuring out what books to work with, and that's just why the hell would I be telling you Will Hill lines? I'm just, I'm still trying to figure this out. So you made a good point. So I've got Caesars and 365 and BetMGM and Bet Rivers and them up there. So we'll use their line history as we move forward here. Looking at the team total and have Daby Cab touch on this too. And Daby Cab, why don't you touch on this while I look for the team total? Isn't it a little uncomfortable to back Louisville on a short week after such a tough football game where they put every ounce of energy into it against the tough Hurricane squad? Take it away, Daby Cab, while I look for the team total for Louisville. But isn't that a little uncomforting? Take it away, Daby.
Yeah, it could set up as like a letdown instead of a bounce back. I get what you're saying there. My problem with Louisville is not their offense. I trust that they're going to put up points, even though Boston College's defense is their better. Boston College's defense is their best unit on the field. Their offense can't stop turning the football over. But with Louisville, I don't like their defense. That's where my issue lies with them. I don't really trust their defense. So if you're asking, do I trust their defense to come out and play a good football game here against Boston College after getting ripped apart by Miami every fucking time Miami had the football? No, I don't really trust Louisville's defense here. That's why I would lean towards the over if I was going to bet this. Listening to Wine Time Talk, you know, you can get Brown's rushing prop at, let's see, it's kind of, I'm going to use books that we have, 73.5, minus 114. That don't sound so bad to me.
Oh, that doesn't sound bad at all. If this guy gets 15 to 20 touches in this game, he's easily going over that, man. This kid's a stud out there. He's quick with the ball in his hand too, man. Boston College, don't get me wrong, they have a decent run defense. But I mean, this kid's a true freshman out there balling, man. I mean, they have 3 losses, but they still need to keep winning games, man. They're not going to give up yet. And this is a Boston College team that, I mean, you touched on it. Their defense is their best unit. The offense, I mean, Castellanos, I've never been a fan of this kid in this time in college football. He's got like 1,000 passing yards on the season. I'm just not a fan of it.
I mean, he got 72 against Notre Dame on 13 touches. Like, that's impressive. That's impressive as hell.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, especially considering, Notre Dame's got a really good run defense and a defensive line. Yeah, definitely take a look at that. Then I didn't look at player props going into this one, but if I get in on it, I'll tweet it out and I'll let you know, Jim, if I get on that Isaac Brown prop, because that does seem good. Team total still has me a little. I mean,
we can get you a 30.5 quite juice to the over at minus 121. We can get you a 31.5 less juice to minus 115.
Yeah, it's a tough spot. It's just because, like I mentioned, Boston College runs such a slow offense, and if they don't get points, and these are long drives, and Louisville isn't able to really be on the field to score that many points, that's really my only concern with the team total. I think I'm going to stay away from this one. Isaac Brown's got me turning my head a little bit, though, definitely on that rushing prop. Maybe I'll throw Louisville money line in a parlay with something that we talk about later, and maybe an NBA or something. I'll parlay it because I think Louisville's going to win this game without a doubt. The 7.5, though, I mean, if you got in at the 6.5, you're in at a good number. The 7.5 is a number that I wouldn't take with Louisville. I'd only lean Boston College.
Yeah, I hear that, man. And I don't have Coin says Caesars will Hill have identical lines. I don't have them with identical juice. Let me just double check that very quickly before we move on to the next game. Ramos, thank you, man. Thank you for being a part of it, a part of our tourney, and thank you for supporting us. That's all on you. So thank you, man. I just told you guys that I got this email. I know it wasn't in the prizes. I was like, I'm gonna make sure you guys get it, but we can't do any of this without you. I have a big difference here. Oh no, that's BetMGM. Let's go over Caesars. Yeah, I have a big difference. The minus 118 that is being offered at Will Hill is just minus 110 at Caesars. So maybe the same odd, but different juice. A lot of guys on the over here. I don't want anything to do with a football team on a short week after what they just went through. We just saw it last night with the Detroit Lions. So, with the Minnesota Vikings against who played the Lions, whatever. Okay. So no action from us, but a lot of action here in the chat. Lucky Lefty on Louisville -4, first half minus 114. Same with Kong's Clips. And we have the Wager Detective on the -7.5. We have a possible look on Isaac Brown props from both of our cappers, but nothing official. Nothing official. Is that right, Daby Cab? We move on?
Yeah, nothing for me official here.
Let's move on. 10:30 p.m. Eastern with the number 17th ranked Boise State Broncos, 5-1, 2-0 in the Mountain West. At the UNLV Rebels, 6-1, 2-0 in the Mountain West. We're at Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas, Nevada. Boise's won 4 straight since that really well-played 37-34 loss at Oregon. They've had pretty weak competition, and they've smashed and grabbed them. I think it was a character-building situation at Hawaii. You know, everyone knows it's kind of tricky for these kids to fly over there and play, and they won 28-7 there. That came off the heels of 3 straight home games. First one was when they smashed Portland State. Who cares? But Washington State, they beat 45-24, and then they beat Utah State 62-30. I know since then Utah State's looked awful, so it's not that big of a deal. But similar teams, UNLV also faced Utah State. At Utah State won 50-34, and UNLV coming off the 33-25 victory at Oregon State. The big thing is when Boise State came back from Hawaii, it was their bye week. So they have a big rest advantage here in this one. let's take a look at the line history and hand it over to our experts. Oh, shoot. I moved back to the Louisville game just to look at the VIG that these books were offering. Let's go back to Boise State UNLV here. We're going to be we'll try Caesar's line movements here, but we'll figure out which books we think are the sharpest. This opened up at Caesar's with UNLV +3. It got up to 3.5 several times. It's at 3.5 now at a regular -110 on each side. But that moved 40 minutes ago. If we go to about an hour and 10 minutes ago, this was -120 to Boise State. But they've gone through the number 3, which is such a big deal, from 3 to 3.5. This total, this total opened up at 66.5 at Caesars. And it's just been going down and down. And we're all the way down to 63.5 now. So a 3-point move towards the under. When we get to the cash flow for game 2 on tonight's card, we have 53% of the tickets and 88% of cash on the over. The look ahead was 58.5. So even at 63.5, this is much higher than the look ahead, but it's much lower than what it opened at this week. And then let's go to all markets. On the spread, we have 82% of the tickets and 85% of the cash on Boise. Now they went through the crucial number, but they're a very public spot here right now. Take it away for us, Daby Cab, Boise State Broncos, UNLV Rebels. Floor is yours.
Yeah, I told you I hadn't bet these games tonight. I made a couple more moves on tomorrow's games, but I wanted to bet this one, and I still might. Here's the thing: I don't like being on a super public spot, but this game is exciting. This game has playoff ramifications, possibly. And who thought we'd say that with Boise State? Right, in this situation, or UNLV, not really the situation you expect with these two teams. But Boise State, you said it, their only loss was a 3-point loss to the now number 1 team in the nation, Oregon, right? So they have one loss to the number 1 team in Oregon. And then UNLV, they should have beat Syracuse. They screwed that game off. I mean, multiple interceptions that they wasted. Just a lot of situations when they could have closed that football game out, and they didn't do it. So both teams could easily be undefeated, is my point. And Boise State could have beaten the number 1 team. They lost by 3 points. I think sometimes, it's a bad thing to be, with the public, but look at what happened in the NFL this weekend. The public crushed on pretty much everything until the Vikings, but I'm talking about this past Sunday, right? Public crushed on what they did on Sunday. Sometimes the public's right. And I like the narrative of Gentry, playing on a stage here in front of people and getting to show off what he can do. And Boise State making it, to the playoffs and him being the Heisman. I mean, I like that storyline, and I think it plays out. I mean, you look at his damn prop; it's 190 yards right now. Over 190. It's over 190 yards tonight. And let me be clear why that number is so crucial here, because I find it so interesting. Because if he gets his prop, Boise State wins this football game and possibly covers. If he doesn't, they might not. And that's insane to think that I'm saying a player can't get 200 yards. Who the fuck gets 200 yards in a game rushing consistently, right? I think he gets it. I think he probably does. I think he gets his 190 yards on a big stage here. And I like Boise State early, first half. I might make it official. I just haven't bet anything because sometimes I don't want to be on a public side. And this isn't something I loved.
But it has gone from 3 to 3.5. So at least the books are paying attention.
I don't usually care. I don't usually put too much stock into that. So I mean, honestly,
you don't find the 3 to 3.5 a key number? Because only
no, that maybe, yeah. But I mean, being public or not public.
Oh, okay. Because going from 3 to 3.5 is only happened 3 times in the NFL in the last 3 years.
In college sports, I try as hard as I can not to worry about that as much as I can, and trust the way that trust my process on how I do this, because it's hard. It's what I didn't even talk about. What's Haj Malik Williams, the quarterback? Sorry, I know you don't mind if we go a little longer, but I'll just say, he's going to be a key here, because this Boise State team, what they do on defense is they get downhill, right? So they're not very good in the secondary. If I'm being honest, their secondary is kind of shit. But their front line, their defensive line is good. They're going to get Haj Malik, moving, and if they can contain him, they'll do all right. If they can't, I don't know. And, he's been putting up yards too, 65 yards rushing, 65 yards rushing, 53 yards against Syracuse, 119 against Fresno State. The guy can get out of the pocket. So it'll be an interesting matchup there for sure between whether or not they can contain him. That's why this game, I could see it going either way. I just, first half, I don't hate Boise State. I kind of like it.
I get it. Lucky Lefty saying Boise State will be up 7 first half. Let's hear what Wine Time has to say about this one. Big one in the Mountain West, where our friend DJ Big Boss does it best. Shout out to our friend DJ Big Boss and the Hubangin family. Take it away, Wine Time. Your plan here.
Yeah, man, and I talked to Big Boss about this game, Jim. This is a game that he told me was one of his biggest bets he's placed in quite some time. We'll get to that here coming up. But, coming into this game, man, Barry Odom, what a job he's done with this UNLV program these last 2 years. He took this team to the Mountain West title last year when they were a 3-point dog to this same team where they got the roof blown off of them by 25 points. It's crazy to think, man. UNLV 10-1, their last 11 as a dog, and that one loss being to Boise State in that bowl game. UNLV, not the best run defense either. And you look at Williams on the other side, the quarterback for this UNLV team, man, this guy can run all over the field. He can make the throws that Sluka really couldn't make. This guy's got all the talent in the world, honestly. It's crazy to think. I mean, if UNLV wins this game and they meet again in the Mountain West Championship, they beat them there again, does this team have a chance to be in the college football playoff? We'll see. Boise State, on the other hand, man, they just got to win out, honestly, and they'll be there for sure. With that being said, man, it's crazy to see Genty, his rushing prop at 190.5. I mean, it's definitely not surprising. This guy's what he's doing right now. We don't see this every single season. With that being said, man, the running back position in college football right now is at an all-time high. There's so many good running backs out there. So shout out to that. But yeah, man, he's just getting it done however he wants. No one's been able to stop him. There's been no answer for him against any team this season. I don't think UNLV is going to really have an answer for him on that end of the ball as well. And Ricky White, man, really good wide receiver over there too for UNLV. Catches a lot of footballs over there from Williams. Watch out for him on that side of the football. Tough game though, man. I want to follow. So Big Boy, yeah, he's on the Boise State side, man. He loves it here at the 3.5. I want to get there too, man. Definitely think that they should blow these guys out, honestly. I just think Gentry's going to be able to do whatever he wants. And I don't know, maybe this game goes over. Maybe that's the play, honestly, because I don't see either of these teams really stopping anyone. Cab mentioned Boise State has a really good defensive line, one of the better pass rushing success rates in college football right now. They're playing really well on that side of the football. They played against a good Oregon front too, and they actually held their part and looked really good in that game, pretty surprisingly enough. But with that being said, man, I'm off this game. I kind of lean towards the over, 64.5. It seems like a lot of points, but maybe this is one of those games where there's 50 points in that first half, and this is a clear-cut over, hits 80, because both these teams are going to be able to score. UNLV actually has a good quarterback this season compared to last season, so maybe this game is going to be a little bit different from that conference championship game last year. But that being said, man, I'm going to stay away from this one.
Yeah, it feels like a spot where the line at 3 didn't make sense. They put out a number where the books knew they were going to get, 4 of every 5 tickets on Boise State. We know that the books are actively trying to beat us and not looking for 50-50 action. Now, it didn't. If you do love Boise State, you'll be thankful that it moved through the 3, but I can understand the trepidation. We've also seen it open at a very high number, which was way over the look ahead, and then come back down. No move from our cappers here, but a lot of moves here in the chat. And Millsy, fresh off a perfect week in our NFL cappers contest, is on Williams over 57 rush yards for UNLV. And Rod Zawacki on the UNLV Rebels first half money line. Let's move on to our final spot in college football before we get into this giant NBA card. 9 games, I believe, in the NBA card. We have 11 p.m. Eastern, a little late night action for us. Rutgers Scarlet Knights 4-3, 1-3 in the Big Ten at USC Trojans 3-4, 1-4 in the Big Ten. Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum, 64 Fahrenheit, partly cloudy, 2-mile-per-hour winds. Both these teams have lost 3 straight. Now, we were on Maryland against USC. I was just hoping for the cover. We got the outright win. You said to us one time that if USC lost this game, Lincoln Riley would be fired or should be fired.
Good.
They asked him, they said, why can't your team finish off opponents? And did you hear his answer for that?
I heard his press conference this week. I'm not sure. I forgot. What did he say?
I don't know. That's what he said.
No, I didn't hear that. That's hilarious, though. I mean,
not
doesn't
even
surprise me, man. I mean, he's never going to take the blame. So
I don't know. That was his answer. Not even fucking trying.
That's like fucking Jerry Jones when he was getting asked about the Cowboys last week. I don't know if you guys heard that shit. He's so fucked. Jerry Jones is so. He was like, they were talking about all the things that are wrong with the team or asking about the things wrong with the team. He's like, yeah, but we've done things right too. Like, motherfucker, you just got beat by the Lions. Like you just got destroyed by the Lions. You understand what I'm saying? At your home stadium, like, and that's what you're gonna say? Come on, dude.
I was 0-3 at home this season, I think.
They are, yeah.
It's crazy.
Love to see I'm on them this week against my Niners, though. But let's focus on the Trojans. Lincoln Riley's Trojans off their 3rd straight loss. You know, the loss at Minnesota was bad. They covered at home last time we were here. You guys were on them. We covered. It was a spot that was given out by Wine Time on our show, and they lose in overtime. They almost got the outright victory. We all cashed. And then another debacle in Maryland. But if we look at their 2 home games here in the Big Ten, they beat Wisconsin 38-21, would beat them by 17 points, and then they almost beat Penn State. So they look like a different football team at home. Rutgers also lost 3 straight. The last one was pretty ugly. Another spot. You love these Californian schools. You know them so well. One time you cashed with UCLA in their Rutgers losing 35-32. So but the common team they played against right now is Wisconsin, and Rutgers got destroyed 42-7, and USC beat them 38-21, and USC is an angry group right now. Let's get into the line history here for this one. USC at Bet365 opened minus 14.5, moved to 14, back to 14.5, got down to 13.5, sitting at 14. We have a half-point move towards the Scarlet Knights. This total opened up at 55.5. They initially went down to 54.5 before climbing to 56.5 and went down again and then came back up. So right now it's at 56.5. So we have a half-point move to Rutgers. We have a 1-point move to the over. And when we go to the cash flow, we have 43% of the tickets and 46% of the cash on Rutgers. It's a real mixed bag. It's a coin flippy situation, as it is with the total. 48% of the tickets and 53% cash on the over. And it is slightly moving towards the under. Wine Time Sports. Take it away, your Trojans in action. Floor is yours.
Yeah, man. This USC team, man. They're running the ball at a 39% rate this season, and they've got a really good running back in Woody Marks. I'm not sure why they're not running the ball in the second half when they have these big leads. I'm not sure why they're continuously throwing the ball in the second half with big leads. It makes no sense. And to be honest with you, it's 100% on Lincoln Riley because he is the signal caller, or he's the play caller over there. And he's calling all these plays, man. And they've got a really good running back that I think they need to give this guy 20 to 25 carries at minimum because when they give him the ball, he's looking good. Miller Moss, on the other hand, man, yeah, this guy's made some really big-time throws this year. He's definitely surprised a lot of folks this season. I mean, they've been in every single game they've been in, let's be completely honest. We thought they should have got the outright win against Penn State. Penn State, man, shout out to Coach K, man, made some crazy adjustments over there that second half against D'Anton Lynn, man. Just completely outdueled them, man, in that second half. And they had no answer, and USC couldn't score. That being said, man, Rutgers had a really good start to this season, man. I really thought they were going to be a dark horse in the Big Ten. One thing led to another injury. All this defense, man, they've got so many injuries on this defense. We saw what a UCLA offense did last week against them, an offense that hadn't scored 20 points yet this season. They were able to do that in the first half. Ended up scoring 35. It looked pretty easy too, honestly. I think that all these injuries are really going to start piling up for Rutgers. And talent-wise, man, I mean, USC still has a lot of talent. Don't get me wrong. A lot of their defensive players are not playing. Their personnel right now isn't great. A lot of guys sat out after a couple games because they didn't like where this program was going. They wanted to transfer out, which definitely scares me for this USC pro. I mean, I'm not a USC guy, but I was actually a little bit high on them going into this season. Just with Miller Moss, I thought he could be a better quarterback for Lincoln Riley, what kind of offense he ran. But man, they just don't play 4 quarters of football. It's crazy to watch, honestly. I mean, one half they look insane. The other half, they just look completely dead. This program looks like they're slowly but surely running out of life. I didn't listen to the post-game press conference that Jim touched on. Did listen to his media talks this week. Every reporter, man, all these guys look so scared to ask him questions. They just, I don't know. I think a lot of people want Lincoln out and thought that he might be out after that loss. It's not going to happen. This guy ain't getting fired for a couple years. They owe this guy like $1 billion. He's got a private jet, a mansion in LA. They're too invested into this guy to fire him. It's simple as that. With that being said, though, man, this should be a very angry program. USC has the talent on the offensive side of the football. They've got really good wide receivers, man. They've got Lemon, that kid out of Los Alamitos, man. 5-star recruit, just a playmaker with the ball in his hand, so fast. And then you got Zachariah Branch, man, one of the most explosive people with the football in his hand. I don't know why they're not giving him the ball more, giving him some touches out of the backfield as well. Just put the ball in his hand because he can do big things with it. He's a playmaker. 1 play, 70 yards, boom, touchdown. He can do that. I expect USC to win this game. I expect them to put the foot on the gas and not stop here against a team that's very injured. Rutgers has one good player on this offensive team right now. His name is Kyle Monunga. He's an NFL-type running back. He's going to sign a contract somewhere in the NFL in the future. I'm not sure where or when he'll get drafted or be undrafted, but we're going to see this guy play at the next level. Can really get uphill. I'm a big fan of his. I mean, he looked really good last week as well. It's just if they're down early, I don't know how much you're going to be able to give him the ball. You look at AK on the other hand, the quarterback, the transfer from Minnesota. This guy's not good. He made some big time throws against UCLA. But UCLA, I mean, I'm not saying that that's anything to write home to, though, at the same time, because that was his biggest game of the season. Before that, he looked very suspect making the big-time throws. He made some big-time throws in that last week, but it's going to be tough here, especially in an environment that, I mean, I can't tell you guys if this is going to be a crazy environment or not. I mean, we've got St. John Bosco and Mater Dei playing at SoFi. We've got Lakers playing at Crypto tonight, Dodgers playing Yankees, and then this game in LA, man. I don't know if this is going to be a sellout crowd, to be honest with you, especially how the program's there's not a lot of life in it right now. Maybe the fans aren't going to come out. I mean, it's LA. Once teams start going down the hill, they don't come out to these games. Tough game, man. Definitely a lean towards the USC side because I do think they can blow these guys out just with the talents they have on offense, if they can come out with a good offensive game plan. But stay off.
Stay off spot here. Let's hear what Daby Cab, a great breakdown. Let's hear what Daby Cab has to say. We have Rod Zawacki on Rutgers, team total under. Strategic investments, Chapeadore is play today, USC minus 13.5. Ron Lofton on the first half under 28.5 and Twisted 24-7 on the under 56.5. Daby Cab, Rutgers, Trojans in LA.
I mean, this sure seems like a get right spot if you've ever seen one for USC, right? Even with everything else going on in town, I mean, it's at home. You touched on the Lincoln Riley thing. I mean, one thing I've always said is know your coaches, right? When you're betting college football, know your coaches, whether it's, somebody like Lincoln Riley or Lane Kiffin, or I can go on and on. People who, like, when they get the chance, they put the foot on the gas. And that's what, if USC gets that opportunity, that's what they're going to do. Right. So if they're really as talented offensively as I think they are, and Weinheim touched on a lot of the stuff as I think they are, then this game USC wins 28 points. I really honestly think that. I do not think Rutgers just can keep up offensively. I just don't think they have the ability. So maybe you go first half because you're worried about the full four quarters of football, or maybe you just lay it with them. I don't know. I hate that I don't have action, but I'm really close to betting Boise State first half, and this one I'm still staying off.
the USC full game team total 36.5. First half team total 19.5. Do we think that this is an angry USC group whose offense smash and grabs here at home? Do you have interest in that first half team total over?
Yeah, I think they could get that.
Justin McKelvey says 54-10 type game. I think that now let's just go quickly look at that. So this has gone from 55.5 to 56.5. It's coin flippy. Do we question Rutgers defense enough? What do you think, one time of that, Daby vouching for, what do you think of that Trojans first half team total over 19.5?
I mean, they definitely should come out firing here. I mean, this Rutgers defense looks dead, guys. I mean, they're just completely depleted over there. They look good in the beginning of the season, give or take against the competition. Don't get me wrong. A lot of people weren't high on Ethan Garbers going into the season. I still think he has a big arm, so I wasn't surprised that he did that. I think Miller Moss can do similar things as what Garbers did, and I think that they definitely will find the end zone here at least 3 times in the first half. At least they should. I mean, these guys should be pissed off. If they don't, I don't know what to expect from this team going forward. So, yeah, I definitely have a lean. If you can get a 20.5, that might be good money right there, honestly.
19.5.
19.5? Yeah, that might be good money.
What would you say is the biggest weakness of this Trojans team? Now not road home, dichotomy, but just as a football team at home, what's the single biggest weakness of USC? What's their biggest weakness, biggest strength?
Like on the field or
on the field?
Defense weakness.
I think it's their defense here, because that first half line is, just it's 7.5. It's more than the touchdown. So what would you say, Wine Time, the biggest weakness and strength here for?
So I was higher on this USC defense going into the season. In a couple games, they looked really well. But like I said, they lost a lot of guys. A lot of guys are transferring out. They sat out, taking a redshirt year. They got hurt. The personnel there is not great for them. So I would definitely think that their defense is the weakness. Don't get me wrong. I like with D'Anton Lynn. I like him as a coordinator over there, but I don't think he has the right personnel right now. Rutgers might be able to score some points here too, if we're being completely honest. I would say the strength of USC, I mean, they've got a good running back in Woody Marks. They're just not using him. I mean, this guy is going for 100 in every single game. I mean, this prop right now, I was kind of looking at his prop over 97.5. I kind of want to take that because I do think they should just get him involved early and often, give him the ball. And I do think he'll find the end zone a couple times as well. Their passing game is good because they do have the athletes, but I just don't think they're getting the ball to the right guys. Like Zachariah Branch is getting like 4 to 5 touches a game. Like, this guy's explosive with the ball in his hand. This guy's like a 5-star guy. Like, when USC got him, this was a big deal. This is like supposed to be a future NFL type guy. And they're not using him correctly. I mean, he's had some good games, don't get me wrong, but he's definitely not doing what I thought he was going to do going into the season. And that's on Lincoln not getting him the football.
I can get a 17.5 juiced. I could also build an 18 if I wanted to. Right now, 365 has a 16.5 at minus 150 and a 19.5 at minus 110. I kind of like it. Wow, minus 105 on 17.5, Brian? Wow. Okay, well, I mean, there's not a big difference between 17.5 and 19.5. Is the 18 and 19 is usually not landed on. But wow. Okay, I'll take some more time in it. So I'm looking at the Trojans first half team total over for my action here. JW says, I will never forgive USC for losing to some Maryland football players. I will fade them all year. Yeah, I was pleased that night. Sorry that hurt you, JW. We needed it here. Great stuff. Daby Cab. Daby, tell us a little bit about what's going on tomorrow on the tailgate. Let me get it up for you, but tell us a little bit about what's going on tailgate.
I mean, you've seen our guy Winetine over there with us. We start off with Guns. Guns has been killing it. Dutch came in. He went 4-1 last week. Jimmy, every capper that's been coming on the tailgate every Saturday morning is positive. So if you've been tuning in, you're getting, 40 to 45 bets every show. And it doesn't mean everybody goes positive every episode, but every capper is positive on the show right now. Every single one. There's one person that's, right there, minus 1 if I'm actually being full transparent. But I'm keeping up with everybody's record, and even that person has had a ton of bets, and I trust that they're going to get in the black also. So if you guys aren't tuning in, let's say it again. You're getting 40 to 45 bets. We're giving them bam, 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 just best bets, talking about why we're betting it quickly with a bunch of cappers, and then we move on. So we talk about it and get paid. That's how we do it.
I love it. Please support. And have you guys decided on which game? Are you going to do a later game? Or are you doing the noon? Have you guys decided?
I haven't even talked to Wine Time yet. Here's the thing. So if I'm and I'm just being completely honest, if I do the A&M LSU game and A&M starts losing by multiple scores, I'm not going to stay on screen. So I need to make sure that somebody is there with me, because I'm going to lose my shit and I'm going to be very angry. So we need to make sure we have people here. So Wine Time, what's your schedule while we're here? Let's just figure that out. Should we do the early game like usual or switch it?
Yeah, I mean, I'm free tomorrow, so yeah, whatever works. I'm down for the 9 a.m.
The A&M game, even just you talking about them, is obviously what people want. You know, they want consequences. That's what makes sports fun. That's why we gamble.
Yep. So you're going to be there?
I'll be there on Sunday night and Monday night. Are you going to be there?
If A&M gets down by, like, let's say, like more than 2 scores.
I also have a double on Sunday with NFL Pub Hub and Sunday night. So it's not like I don't want to rock with you guys. It's just that, you know, I'm a dad just like you, and it's my one day.
No, I get it, man. I get it.
I would love to rock with you.
As long as it's a good game, everything should work just fine. A&M's going to cover. As long as it's a good game, everything will work out just fine.
Nuke says some want to see you cry. No, he wouldn't be crying. He'd be breaking things, smashing things. So
yeah, let's. If Wine Time's able to do that one with me, Wine Time. If you're able to do it with
me, I'll be there.
Yeah. Well, whatever you guys decide, it will be must watch. An excellent job on the tailgate. Excellent job today, Daby Cab. I love it. Again, Daby Cab is on Otani over 1.5 bases at -110, and he's fresh off board sweepage last week, 3-0 with our guy Pistol Pete Loshak. Please support the tailgate. Please support Medicaid Mondays, and of course our live stream this Saturday night, which will be after UFC, as UFC is an early morning start. Daby, thank you so much for your time, my man. Any last word for the Capper Sporting Show?
Oh man, see you guys tomorrow morning. We've been having a blast. I love doing it with you guys. Let's keep it rolling tomorrow. I'll see you guys there, 10 a.m. There you see it on screen.
There he is, Daby Cab. It is time to move on to NBA, the association. And we have a very exciting situation here. We have our guy, Wine Time Sports, with his opening up his account.
Let's go.
In the NBA. We've seen what you've done in college football, and now we switch sports. I have been very hesitant to start the year. I tell myself to do it every year, and I don't follow through. Last night was a good example because I wanted to join you guys on the Spurs, but the market move just didn't correlate for me. And then I went over in the offseason where I had success in NBA, and it was all on the dogs where the line wasn't moving. And we were wondering, why is it not moving? The ROI I had on those things. So I stayed off of that one. Shout out to our guy, Wham Bam, Trot Wham Bam 3000. He got on the Spurs live with us at +13.5. They lost by 11. Saturated said Spurs almost backdoored. Yep. They were down by 2 points in the third quarter.
Crazy. They were in the game. They were up at half, weren't they? I think they were up 2 points at half.
They were up at half. They were 49.
Yeah, you know what I mean? That third, they just fell apart for about 5 or 6 minutes out there. But man, Jim, let me give a quick shout out to my guy CP3, man. There's never been a guy out there that's cashed me more tickets than this guy since he's been with OKC and the Phoenix Suns in those couple years, man. And he's still dishing out assists for me. I had that over 7.5. He hit that in the third quarter. Like, he still can give you 10 any single night.
Yeah, and he's got a chance here to do something special with Wemby. So he's got a great opportunity here after lacking an opportunity last year. Let's get to work. 9 games on the program, I believe. We start at 7 p.m. Eastern with the Brooklyn Nets at the Orlando Magic. Magic had a great start to the year. They go into Miami, their rival. They beat them badly, 116-97. Banchero goes for 33. They just looked really good. They dominated the boards. They out-rebounded Miami 57-41. It was a very impressive start for the Magic. Shout out to Dan Kelly, who got us on the Magic to win the division last year at 8-1. It's an important score. For Brooklyn, wasn't a bad performance. You know, they go into Atlanta. They lose by 4. You know, they looked pretty good. They were 7.5-point dogs. They covered. They were in it all game long. And Thomas went for 36. We're going to see a lot of that, 14-27 from the field. We go into the injury situation here. Bogdanovich, of course, out. Sharp as well. And Isaac is a game-time decision. KCP adds a real nice bit of accountability on the defensive end for this young Magic squad. Let's get into the line history and the cash flow and then hand it off to our guy, Wine Time Sports. So we have here, let's move over to NBA and get this. Are they not? Man, I'm going to have to. Wow. Okay. Problems with these new books. Okay. We are going to use, unfortunately, here, just because I'm figuring out the right sites to traverse through fast and already having problems with that other site. So we're going to go back to the old standard, but unfortunately it will be Will Hill spot. So we have Brooklyn at plus 11.5. That's exactly where this opened. This didn't open until 40 minutes ago. So why don't I just take a look at a different book that opened it up earlier. The book that opened it up earlier opened this up at 11, got up to 12, and back to 11.5. So at that book, we have a half-point move towards the Magic. The VIGs here at Will Hill is just the regular 20-cent VIGs, which still suck, but not as bad as those 36-cent VIGs in college football. We have this total at 215.5. Again, this line just came out at Will Hill. If we look at a book that brought this line out much earlier, it opened at 215, got up to 217.5 until it started dropping to 215.5. We still have a half-point move on the over. So very little movement here. Let's get to the cash flow then. From a cash flow perspective, we have 44% of tickets and 34% of cash. The Magic have 56% of tickets and 66% of the cash. And on the total, 92 and 91 on the over, and it's not moving. One thing about the Magic is, will they be a little bit devoid of these letdown spots because they're such a young team, you know, so thirsty for success, unlike the older veteran-laden squads that seem to let down so often. Take it away for us, Wine Time, Nets Magic.
Yeah, Jim, interesting matchup right here, man. Looking at Orlando Magic, grabbing KCP in the offseason, grabbing a veteran, 3-and-D type of player, a guy that's won multiple championships, has played with two of the better players that we've seen in the last 10 years, in LeBron and Jokic. He's a team player too, man. I mean, he goes out there for his team every single game. He doesn't even want to score points sometimes. If you ask him to just go out there and play defense, that's what he'll do for you, still at the age that he's at. Look at the Brooklyn Nets, man. Yeah, losing Mikal Bridges this offseason, man. Ben Simmons now the starting point guard, I guess, up there with Dennis Schroeder right now. Schroeder, man, had 7 assists in that first game there. Ben Simmons, man, in that first quarter, I didn't really watch this game too closely, but it looked like he was on pace for a triple-double, and then all of a sudden, just no stats came after that first quarter. Not too sure about that. You look at Cam Thomas, on the other hand, man. We saw it last year, man. When the basketball's in his hand, this guy wants to shoot it. He doesn't give it to anyone. He doesn't pass the ball. He wants to go up and get a shot. He's got a great jumper. He can hit the 3 ball. He can go at you. He's a smaller guy, but he can still go at you, and he can make his free throws when he gets to the line as well. With that being said, he did have 36 points last game. His point prop right now is at 25.5 right now. I definitely see a little bit of I don't think he's going to do what he did in that first game, 36 points. So I'm going to stay away from that point prop total here. Looking at Schroeder, though, man, I feel like he is going to be dishing out a lot of assists for this team. I think he's going to be the true point guard. He's not going to really try to score too much. So I'm definitely looking at his over 5.5 assists. And I also think, Jim, that, this Magic team, this is a mismatch for them. I think if we're being completely honest, Orlando's got a really good defense, and we're seeing this total here at 215.5. I think it's dropped from, I want to say it opened up at like a 216.5. It's dropped. Everyone's betting the over. These Friday night totals with all the money on one side and moving the other way kind of scare me a little bit over the years. It hasn't really hurt me so much these last couple months, but I'm definitely taking a look at this under too, because I mean, I don't think Brooklyn's going to be able to score 100 in this one, if we're being honest with you. And maybe Orlando kind of slows it down, wins this game 110-95, something like this, and this doesn't hit the over. That's what I'm looking at. I think I'm going to get there to the window on this. Lock me in, Jim. Under what's the best number? Can you get me a 216 anywhere?
Let's try and do that. This reminds me, before I do that, I just want to, while this is clear in my head, this reminds me of yesterday. I was hesitant to take the Wizards first quarter, but I was like, how in the world do the Celtics get up after, the banners and being at home against the Knicks? And how did they get up for Washington? And I was right. They didn't. Now they are so much superior than the Wizards that they completely dominated whenever they chose to. Why wouldn't Brooklyn's got to feel good about themselves after that first game? And here you have the Magic after that huge performance, put everybody on notice, put the Heat on notice, put the division on notice. And now Brooklyn comes to town after being in Miami. Now you go back to Orlando and Brooklyn comes to town. Now it is the home opener. Maybe because it's the home opener, it wouldn't be a letdown spot. It was the home opener for the Wizards, and that's why maybe they stepped up. So maybe, I guess what I'm saying is that in this situation, as we move forward, and maybe this is the right time to do it. If this wasn't the home opener, I would be on Brooklyn first quarter in this one. I'm not going to be able to do that. I don't know. What do you think of that angle here? Do you think because it's the home opener, they'll still be sharp?
I mean, the best unit for this Nets team is their starting five. So I guess, the best effort you're going to get there is in that first quarter. You're going to probably get the most minutes out of Ben Simmons and Dennis Schroeder. They're going to probably distribute the ball. I guess it's going to be up if Cam Thomas can hit these, these open shots that he's going to be able to take. Look at their starting. Schroeder, not the best. He's an average 3-point shooter in his career. I wouldn't say he's a good 3-point shooter by any means. Ben Simmons doesn't shoot threes. Cam Johnson can shoot the hell out of the ball. When he gets hot, he gets hot. And then you got Claxton, the center. So you got two guys that can really shoot the three ball here. I guess it's going to be up to those two guys if they can hit these shots in the corners when they're taking these threes.
Yeah, and Rod Zwacky giving us the Magic would step up against shit teams last year. And Kadesh, our guy KD, saying teams do come out strong in that first quarter, first half, and home openers. Wager detected on Nets plus 11. Saturated on Bankero, points per rebound, assist over 38.5. If shout out to our guy Astute Chaos, Sly Astute in the house. If you want the 216.5, you have to pay for it. Cost minus 125. 216 is minus 119, and 215.5 is minus 110.
Give me the 215.5. I don't think this touches 210. So yeah, give me the minus 110.
You are locked in. Wine Time's first official play of the season. First official bet of the season.
Let's go.
Is the under 215.5 at minus 110. Then we have Twisted 24/7 on the Magic minus 11.5 and over 215.5. Saturated on the Nets plus 7.5. Wager Detective on the Nets plus 11.5. Robert Franklin on the Magic minus 11.5. And we roll on. 76ers at the Toronto Raptors, and BJ with his best bet coming in here. I turned off the home opener. That's the first time I've ever done that in my life. I do not want to watch this Raptors team play basketball. They just gave up in front of our own eyes, and it was just horrific basketball that we saw. And now get used to it. There's a lot of talk about RJ Barrett coming back. He's not coming back tonight. None of these guys are going to be forcing their way. Look at that 1-2-3 for the Raptors. Mitchell, Grady Dick, Agbaji. Now, I know Agbaji earned that role, but, with Barrett out and all that. But good God, that's just horrific.
Yeah.
We've got to watch that. It's just horrific. But they just got slapped in the face and lost by 30. Do you want to fade the Raptors when they're coming off a better performance? They know how bad they are here. And now you have this Sixers team with only Maxey because George and Embiid are out. Caleb Martin, a game time decision. Let's see if they think that Martin will be in. Yeah, he's just game time decision. Embiid and George out. They have RJ Barrett listed as a game time decision, but the reports are that he won't be in the lineup. Quickly a game time decision too. Obviously, he would be important. That he's doubtful, so he's not going to be in. I imagine that the 3.5s are long gone, but let's take a look and see what we are dealing with here for this one. This total right now is sitting at Will Hill at 219.5. Some books have it up at 220. This is at 219.5. What did it open at? Will Hill, this opened at 219.5. A couple times it went down to 219. At other books, this opened up at 219.5 and went down to 218. So that was around 5 in the morning. That went down to 218. So we're back at 220 there. When we go to the point spread here for this one, it's a 5 now. I knew I should have taken that 3.5 when it was available. It's a 5 now. At Will Hill, that 5 is juiced towards Philly at -115. Even though I still have the same issue that I have at 3.5, 4, 5. And that issue is the Raptors just got lit up and smoked. And yeah, you could say, well, so did the Sixers. I mean, that was their home opener, and they lose 124-109. And that wasn't nearly as embarrassing to me. I mean, it was 58-47 at the half. But Sixers shot 25.8% from 3, and I think that we're going to get used to that. Maxey had to take 31 shots to score 25 points. It's pretty ugly stuff here. BJ saying NBA investigating the Sixers and Embiid participation to play. I like that. Rodswack says bet against Nick Nurse after a blowout loss by 15 or more. Nurse's record as coach Philadelphia 0-8 against the spread. Wager detective with the Raptors to cover a possible outright. The only angle I like is just that they come off that horrific display. Other than that, there's nothing else I like. There's 95% of tickets and 95% of cash on the over. The problem with the Raptors too is they're going to shoot so poorly again this year. But even with IQ out, and if it's Xavier Mitchell, they're going to be moving the ball quickly up the floor. We're not going to talk about the pace of play yet. It's just too early to talk about 1 game or 2 games pace of play. So we're not going to do that until at least 5 games in. 69% of tickets and 70% cash on the Sixers. Wine time, take it away.
Yeah, Jim. This was a game I didn't really want to get too interested in last night as I was capping this card, similar to this morning. But the more I'm looking at it, man, you know what, man? This Philly team is pretty depleted without their 2 best players. I mean, they got Tyrese Maxey out there. They got Kelly Oubre. I mean, Kelly Oubre is going to take fucking 20 shots today. You know what I mean? Just if he can make any of them. 76ers. This is in Toronto, man. I mean, this is a tough travel spot for Philly going through custom, all that. We talk about that every single year. And seeing this line at a 5 makes me, I'm not going to take the +5 with the Raptors. The only thing I would take in this game is the money line on the Raptors +175. Because I honestly do think they can get these guys outright, honestly. You mentioned Raptors coming off an embarrassing loss here. Coming here at home, man, going against their old coach, man. I know a lot of these players weren't there when he was there, but still, there's still some guys over there. And maybe the city shows out for this one, Jim. I'm not too sure. But
they don't.
You don't think? It's a tough one, Jim. I honestly, I would only lean towards the Raptors on the money line just because we can get a good number here. I did that with the Pistons yesterday, though. And, they ended up losing the game. They covered the spread, but they still lost the game. Or was that 2 days ago? It was either yesterday or 2 days ago. But I took them high on the money line, even though they were only +5, and I didn't even take that spread. And, that should have been the play. But with that being said, man, I'm going to stay away from this one. Lean to the Raptors money line, though. Maybe they show up for this game.
It is a Friday night, and we have a season ticket holder here in our chat, Bo Jackson. So you could ask him, Bo Jackson, is this going to sell out? Are you going to be here for this?
I'd like to know if this crowd's going to be here for this game. I will move on the Raptors on the money line, and I'll tweet it out. +175. I mean, I don't know. That's a good number.
Every ticket has been sold.
Okay.
That is a fact. But whether or not everybody will be in those seats, we'd have to ask Bo Jackson who will be there. North Ender said Masai destroyed the team. What a mess. Masai destroyed the team by letting them be mediocre for so long. Starting again from scratch here and getting a first, lottery pick, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Bo Jackson sold his ticket for the game. Benjamin Mills says, I don't think Toronto sports teams care about former coaching spots. I think that we would care if we had a decent team to go up against them with. I don't want the 76ers +5 here after the Raptors get slapped in the face. I can understand what Bob Harvard's saying. Sixers are better. I probably should have moved on them on 3.5, but again, we were still kind of waiting on Barrett. I think we knew IQ wouldn't be in the lineup. This is a horrific game, and they are running quickly. The issue is I can't back overs here. Because I'm never going to trust the Raptors shooting ever. So I thought I was going to move against the Raptors, and I don't think I'm going to. I know they're horrific. And maybe this is another mistake. I was beating myself up for not fading them on opening night. And again, I'm pretty pensive as the season has just started. Let's roll on. Next up, we have 7:30 p.m. Eastern action. Charlotte Hornets at the Atlanta Hawks, State Farm Arena in Atlanta, Georgia. Both teams coming off victories in their openers. The Hornets come in off that 110-105 win at Houston. Got to feel good about that one. And Atlanta had to battle back to beat Brooklyn at home. So we have Charlotte traveling once again. We are, wondering what the rest situation is going to be like for LaMelo as we move forward. There's nothing going on. Of course, Brandon Miller not in the lineup, dealing with the hip injury. So we're not going to see Brandon Miller for a while. Josh Green is a game time decision here. And then we have Mark Williams, out of the lineup again with the foot injury. We did think we'd see a lot more of Mark Williams this season. Again, that's left to be seen. We'll have to see, how things bang out here. Bogdanovich out. We knew that going in. Zeller out. It doesn't really matter. Trae Young, Dyson Daniels, Hunter, Johnson, Capella is the 1 to 5. Let's get into the line history here for this one. We have Atlanta right now at -5. -5. Some books moved it to 5.5 for a while and brought it back to 5. Let's see what Will Hill did. Will Hill has the Pick'em situation at -110. They also moved it to 5.5, and it only stayed there for a couple hours before it moved back to 5. So we have no movement on the side. And I'm going to try really hard to stay away from totals. I can understand team totals, but I'm going to try hard to stay away from full game totals until we have more time with this. But this is some offshores. This opened up at 30 and went all the way down to 224, 223, a 7-point move, huge giant move. And then there was buyback to 226 and a half. We have Will Hill here. Will Hill opened this up at 231.5 and followed the exact same trajectory. This was down to 223 at 7 this morning. So a huge move to the under, deemed too low, and buyback. So Kuja Camp says, Jesus Christ, why is Cody Zeller still in the NBA? Because he can run the floor. But that is the only thing he can do, is run up and down the floor. But he can still run the floor. And you can't say that about everybody, every big here in the league. When we get to the cash flow, we have 58% of tickets, 55% of cash on the Hornets. On the total, we have 90% tickets, 85% cash on the over, and it went all the way down to 223. Wild. Robert Franklin looking at the Hornets plus 5.5. What I take from that first game that each team played was the Hawks had to dig in. They didn't play very well. I think they're going to be better here in their second game. And we know what LaMelo Ball is capable of, and he showed us, that was a pretty impressive game here. 8.5-point dogs, and they take care of business. But they did come back. It felt like, Houston got lackadaisical up double digits in the third quarter. We saw Dallas Mavericks do the same thing in their home opener. But LaMelo 34 and 11 to get things started. Pretty impressive. Take it away for us here. Wine time, game 3 on the card, Hornets, Hawks.
Yeah, Jim, this is a game, man. I mean, yeah, you mentioned LaMelo Ball, man. I mean, he's going to go out there and get you almost a triple-double every single game. I mean, he's a one-man army out there, honestly, for this team. Someone said that the Raptors or the Blazers are the worst team in the NBA. I honestly can still argue probably the Hornets are. Definitely this is a get-right spot here for the Hawks, honestly. Might try to parlay them something with a money line parlay. I'm not going to take them on the spread here, honestly. I'm going to stay away from this one, but I definitely do think this is a Hawks spot. I might punch myself not for taking them here at a -5, -5.5. Maybe I'll get there. I'll tweet it out or something. But, I mean, I like the starting 5 way better than the Charlotte Hornets. Yeah, the Hornets got away with a win in that first game, but I'm not a big fan of this team. I mean, they got LaMelo Ball. They got Miles Bridges over there who definitely can ball as well. This is a game I want to stay away from, though. This is a stay out for me.
See, this unless we made a mistake on the Hornets. This is a game that appeals to me. They turn the ball over 17 times. Houston shoots horrifically and gets lackadaisical in the third quarter because they're a young basketball team. I think that we can explain what happened in Charlotte. With the Hawks, I think, it was a wake-up call. They received a wake-up call versus Brooklyn, and they know that they can't do that again. It's the Friday night in Atlanta. They're going to get, a lot of people here. They didn't shoot very well. They turned the ball over too much. But when push came to shove, they took care of business. Now, that was a 7.5-point spread. Here we're getting a 5-point spread just because Charlotte looks so good. The one thing you can say, as much as you want to take shots, as anybody would want to take shots against Atlanta, they're a veteran team now.
Yeah.
They should improve off of that first game, whereas the Hornets played out of their mind, all excited coming in. I think Atlanta is the spot. Rod Zawacki saying this game isn't over. Billy Freedy says Atlanta doesn't play D. I don't see why. I see this as a nice number at 5.
Yeah, maybe I'll get there with you, Jim, before the show's over. Honestly, I definitely think this is a right spot. Like you mentioned, this crowd's going to be rocking out there in ATL. Their fans are going to be up for this one. They got away with the first win in last week. They've had a lot of troubles in the beginning of the season these last couple of years, starting off hot. I believe they start off. They're one of the worst teams, I feel like, in the NBA, the first 10 to 20 games. Definitely a good spot for them to start off 2-0 here, being at home against a team that, if you look at the floor, this should be a mismatch all the way around, if we're being completely honest. I definitely think LaMelo's going to get off, but just because he gets a triple-double and scores 25, other guys have to get involved. They're going to need Bridges to score 20 a game pretty much. I don't like their scores on this team. You got Green too, who definitely can shoot the hell out of the ball. But we'll see, Caleb Martin, pretty known for hitting that 3 ball as well. So we'll see. But definitely, I think this is a Hawk spot. I definitely agree with you. I might get there.
I think I'm going to get there. Now, the line's not moving in their direction, but why would it be? Charlotte looked really good last night. Coming in as 5-point dog, people, have the bias of what they saw. Atlanta did not look good. And they were in control despite shooting so poorly. I'm interested in the Hawks. I'm going to sit. I will tell you by the end of our breakdowns whether or not I move on them. Let's move on. 7:30 p.m. Eastern. The Detroit Pistons looked a lot better with their new look roster here in Game 1 at the Cleveland Cavaliers, Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse in Cleveland, Ohio. I'd love to hear Dan Kelly's plan with the Cavs. We know that he has said that Atkinson for Coach of the Year. Said Atkinson is an excellent coach, has went to a perfect fit for his skill set. And the voters know that the Nets fired him unjustly. And he likes Atkinson as Coach of the Year. Let's talk about this spot. Pistons come in off that 115-109 loss at home in their opener against the Pacers. They look pretty good, except they shot 27.3% from 3. I think we need to get used to them looking awful from 3. But they looked better. This roster is stronger than it was last year. I know that's not saying much, but Cunningham, Ivy. Is Ivy going to step up and be a starting 2 in the league? The jury's out on that. Can Hardaway still be a 3? I'd say no. But Tobias Harris gives them something at the 4, and Jalen Duren can be strong at the 5. And Max Strus out, and Thompson out for the Pistons. Let's get into the line history here. The Cavs, of course, come off blowing out Toronto. What is that? Who cares that they did that? This total is at 227 at Will Hill. It opened up at 224.5, so this is climbed. But this climbed all the way up to 229 before there was buyback. And then on the spread, we have the 11. This is juiced at some books towards the Pistons. It's not at Will Hill. Will Hill opened this up at 10 and moved it to 11. Cash flow wise here, we have the 81% tickets, 81% cash on the over. We see it coming back. And on the spread, just 34% tickets, 38% cash on the Pistons. I think the Pistons are much might be a little much, but with the injuries that the Raptors are facing, they're a much better basketball team than the Raptors. And who cares? They come off a blowout. Now, it is their home opener, so you can expect sharpness. But Pistons didn't play bad against a good Pacer squad. Take it away for us here, Pistons Cavs.
Yeah, Jim, the more I'm looking at this game makes me want to get on the Pistons first half, honestly. I mean, look at the Pistons who they acquired in this offseason, honestly. I mean, they kind of said, screw the rebuild, and we're going to get a couple veterans to kind of fill some roles here and play around our young guys like Cade Cunningham, like Durant, like Ivy. You bring in Tim Hardaway, a guy that's, in his career, he's known for being a 3-point lights out shooter. Sometimes he's on, a lot of the time he's off too. We saw him hit his first couple threes in that first quarter. It's really going to be if this guy can start getting hot and make a couple threes for them in that first quarter. Then you look at Tobias Harris on the other hand, another veteran guy, the guy that's been in the playoffs every single year, it seems like the past 6 or 7 years, going back to the 76ers and the Clippers. And this guy's like a 13, 14-year veteran, man. He can still get it done. He can still drive to the rim and get some buckets. Can still hit the mid-range at times. His three ball just seems like it gets worse and worse over the years. But don't get me wrong, he can hit 1 or 2 of those a game. And you look at Cade Cunningham, man. I mean, this season I'm 3-0 on my player props this year, and I'm 0-5 ATS. So that's how my NBA season's going. And I was on Cade Cunningham in that first game over points. He had like 6 points in the first half. I was like, damn, this guy's got nothing. Ends up scoring 28. He's going to get to the free throw line. He's going to attack the rim. This is their number one option over there now. Without a doubt, he is the number one option. Cade Cunningham, this guy can put the ball in the bucket without a doubt. Why can Detroit come out here and play a strong first half? They got Malik Beasley off the bench too, a lights out 3-point shooter. Again, if these guys are knocking down their threes, I think they can stay in this game the entire time. Who knows? Maybe Pistons get these guys outright at a plus 430. You never know. I'm leaning towards the first half though at a plus 6.5, minus 105, minus 110, whatever you can get me here. Lock me in Pistons first half. I think they can probably have the lead going into halftime, honestly.
I get that. I'm not going to expect letdown spots in home openers, but in a regular situation, I'd be running to the window with you. But at this point, I'm not going to do that. Let's get you the first half best line available on the first half. Can get you a plus 6.5 at minus 111.
Yeah, give me that, Jim.
All right, wine time is in. We have a plus 6 Pistons. First half plus 6.5 at minus 111 for Wine Time Sports. He's also moved on the Brooklyn Nets, Orlando Magic under 215 and a half. Let's roll. Next up for us, 7:30 p.m. Eastern, Indiana Pacers at the New York Knicks. We're at Madison Square Garden in New York. New York. I heard from a bunch of people last night, Dutch and others, that this was the smash and grab of all smash and grabs here with the New York Knicks. They opened up as 4.5-point favorites. They got up to 6, and they're back at 4.5. And it's not the market that scares me. It's expecting a performance from a team that makes a massive change after one game. If this was last year's New York Knicks, I would have been 100%, because Troy said he wants to pull up the Brinks truck. He's like, he's going to make a huge bet here on the Knicks to dominate. And I'm not saying that they're wrong. I'm just saying that I don't understand how we can have realistic expectations for a team that's made drastic changes in the offseason. This is not a team with any comfort together. We don't have any comfort capping them. And to have an expectation on what they're going to do, other than we were on the Celtics and we cashed that shit. But, I just don't understand it. And again, I'm not saying that they're wrong. I just can't get there. I can't sit here and go, oh, the Knicks are going to bounce back, because I don't know what the hell this team is. They don't know who the hell they are together. They're completely out of rhythm. Yes, they played bad, and are they going to play good now? I just find that difficult to believe in, so I don't believe it. Is what it comes down to. Now, I certainly don't want to fade them after that performance. We have 46% of tickets, 57% of cash on the Knicks. We have 93% of tickets, 94% of cash on the over. We've seen this move up, but I can't go to the window with an expectation. That was just a horrific performance, 132-109. When we're 40 games into the season, I'll run to back that team. We have Pacers off a real underwhelming performance now coming to Madison Square Garden, where that series was one for the ages last year. and I just,
Yeah.
I don't feel comfortable. Take it away for us here. Wine Time Pacers next.
I mean, I can understand the New York love here, man. I mean, the team they got this offseason. I mean, they made a lot of changes, but I mean, I definitely think they have a good, solid team going into this year. Indiana, though, on the other hand, I mean, this is pretty much their starting. I mean, it seems like they're starting five from last season. I mean, they got a three-headed monster over there in Turner, Halliburton, and Siakam, man. I mean, all those guys can put the ball in the bucket anywhere on the floor, whether it's from the three, the mid-range, getting to the rim. All these guys can make their free throws. Knicks, on the other hand, man, they inherit Karl Anthony Towns. If you ask me, I don't know if that's a upgrade from Julius Randle, just being completely honest. And then, you bring in Mikal Bridges, a guy. There's three players that I've made a lot of money on probably over the last 4 seasons. Mikal Bridges, it's Chris Paul, and it's DeMar DeRozan. DeMar DeRozan, absolutely the number one. But Mikal Bridges have made me money on these point props, especially last season with the Brooklyn Nets. I mean, I was giving him out, it seemed like every damn day at one point until he went on kind of that cold streak, and I ended up staying away. But he's a guy I trust. I mean, he scored 16 points and his shot looked absolutely awful in that first game. And the Knicks, man, they're still trying to figure out. Yeah, I get a couple of these guys played with each other in college, but I mean, this is the pros. It's going to take some time. Yeah, they're playing at the Garden, man. I mean, this is where you want to play basketball, man. I mean, I totally get the Knick love, man, but maybe it's a little bit too much for me, I think, in this spot, considering these two teams, went at each other in the playoffs last season. The Knicks legit thought they had that series and they blew it. I believe they were up 3-2 and they lost 2 straight games, if I'm not mistaken. With that being said, man, I'm going to stay away from this one. I mean, good luck to everyone on the Knicks in this one. I'm rooting for you guys because, I mean, this is a new team, though. It's a difficult spot.
I'm not going to have expectations for them like everybody else does.
Yeah.
I've seen these teams that make the most exciting moves in the offseason fail off the hop and fail for a little while. I will cheer because so many of my friends are heavy on the Knicks. I will cheer for them, but I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to have an expectation of a bounce back when there's no comfort in their gameplay. They're not a cohesive unit. So I can understand everybody expecting a bounce back. I'm just not one of them. Let's roll on. We roll on 8 p.m. Eastern. Memphis Grizzlies, Houston Rockets here. We know how good the Rockets were at home at times last year, and for a lot of times they were just, they were just a cash cow for LJ, and I get it. Here we have the Grizzlies off a real nice performance, put up 126 points. Ja goes for 22 and 10. He's back in business. Utah is Memphis was just 2.5 point road favorite. So it's not like Utah is this complete walkover here. And Memphis looked good. We have injuries, of course, if we're talking about Memphis, but you have Ja good to go, Marcus Smart, Desmond Bane, you have Salty Aldama and Zach Edey at the 4-5. For Houston, Dylan Brooks is a game time decision right now, and he's now probable. It's so important to have his defense on this young squad. You have Cam Whitmore. We know he's just, instant offense. He's also being listed as probable, so it's nice to have those guys in the lineup. I really think here is a spot where you can expect the bounce back because this is a team that's been together for a long time. Let's get into the line history here for this one. We have Houston right now at -3.5. They opened up at -2.5. This has been growing. Now, it didn't initially. This went from 2.5 to 2, but now it's been growing to 3.5. I think that's probably just based on Whitmore and Brooks being probable rather than cash flow, but we'll take a look. This total is at 225.5. It opened at 219.5 and has climbed all the way up to 225.5. And then when we get to the cash flow for this spot, we have 92% of tickets, 95% of cash on the over, and 86% of tickets and 84% of cash on the Grizzlies. I tell you, man, I'm running to the window on the Memphis Grizzlies. I wanted to talk it out, but this is, in fact, if I think this, if I think this is just a spot where I must bet, I don't know if the Hawks are a must bet. And I really want to keep things tight here as I start out the year. So I'm going to put some question marks beside that Hawk spot at 5 and look at it a little longer. But the Houston Rockets, I'm running to the window, taking the -3.5 as soon as I can. Take it away for us, Wine Time, Grizzlies, Rockets.
Oh, Jim, this is exactly kind of game where our minds just think the exact same thing, man. I looked at this game last night, man. I bet it at -2. I don't know why I didn't give it out on X. Just giving out, oh, my bad. I don't know why, but I didn't give it out on X last night at the -2. Did take it in at the -2, man. I thought it was going to be a -2 today. I woke up as a -3. Maybe I should tweet it out on -3. It's at a 3.5 now, man. Jim, run to the window, guys. Run to the window on the Houston Rockets in this spot here. I really hope if Dylan Brooks is probable, he's going to play in this spot here. I think he's going to lock up John this spot. I think he's going to go after him. Desmond Bain, the same thing, honestly. I like this Houston Rockets team at home, honestly, coming off a crushing loss in the first game, too. And Memphis just barely getting by that Utah team in that first game. Don't get me wrong over there. Memphis has got some shooters. I mean, they got Desmond Bain. They've got John Morant. They've got some really good guys. I mean, they drafted Zach Edey in the first round last season. He still got Marcus Smart, a guy that can hit the 3 ball and that is pretty much a leader on the court and on the bench as well. This Rockets team, man, I like their team. I like Jalen Green. I like Smith. I like Brooks. I like Van Fleet. I like him as a point guard as long as he can hit his shots early, his mid-rangers. And the center Sengun too. I'm big fan of his as well. I love the Rockets in this spot, guys. Give me if you can give me a -3, a little juice, I'm going to give it out as a -3. What can you give?
-3 at -116.
Oh yeah, all day long, guys. This is run to the window on this one, guys. Like this is even if this doesn't win, like this is the spot. Like this is the spot.
Situationally, I agree. Yeah, I agree. But we also have a team that's played together for a long time. There's not some new player on the floor trying to find his role on the team.
Agreed.
So, Joseph says wrong team favored. Look, it's fair to think that the Grizzlies on a neutral court are a better team than the Rockets. That's just not what we're dealing with. It's just not what we're dealing with. So, but feel free. This is just us giving out information and telling you what we're betting, not selling you anything, and you're welcome to move on anything you want. Okay, we roll on. Next up, 8 p.m. Eastern, we have Chicago Bulls at Milwaukee Bucks. We're at Pfizer Forum in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Let's get into this one. Bulls coming off a 123-111 loss at New Orleans. It wasn't so bad. It wasn't so bad. I know there's very low expectations for this Bulls team, and they shot 29.4% from 3 and turned the ball over 21 times. I mean, get used to it. That's all. You just got to, Ingram went for 33 against them, and just get used to it. Bulls are bad. Then we have the Bucks coming off that 124-109 win at Philly. Lillard went for 30. They shot 53.8 from the field and 43.2% from 3. And I mean, was it that? I mean, I guess it was pretty good on the road. Now they have a team coming in with no pressure on them at all. In the rivalry spot, Chicago, Milwaukee, so close to each other. We have Chicago now at 9 at some books. They opened up at 10. This also was a spot that went in some books from 10 to 9.5 to 9 with no buyback. None. At Will Hill, we have a 9.5. This hasn't moved since it was opened up. Yesterday afternoon. Hasn't moved a dime, a cent. So let's go into the cash flow here. You have 39% of tickets, 33% of cash on the Bulls. The Bucks are 61 and 67. When we get to the total here in this one, we have 79% of tickets and 82% cash on the over. And we have Giannis as a game time decision, as we're going to get used to. He is probable, so there's no worries there. Brook Lopez, a game time decision. He is probable, so he will be in the lineup. We have Gary Trent. We're all thankful that he's not wearing a Raptors uniform. He is questionable here for this one. And then finally, the last person that we are wondering about whether or not he will be in the lineup is No, that's it. Sorry, because we know Chris Middleton's out. And then Alonzo Ball, not in the lineup here. Won't play Friday due to left knee surgery injury management here. So here we go. This is Bulls Bucks. Take it away, wine time.
Yeah, interesting matchup, Jim. As much as I want to back the Bulls in the spot here, man, I just can't get there, honestly. I mean, trading Alex Caruso for Josh Giddey, I guess, gets you more points on the board, but you're also giving a lot more points up on defense. Also, this guy gets booed everywhere he plays still to this day. He probably always will. You look at Zach LaVine, man. I mean, he got 27 points in that first game. He shot the ball very efficiently. I'm a big Zach LaVine fan. I've always have been. UCLA kind of guy. I love him. Vucevic shooting the three ball well too in that first game. They looked good to start, man. It's just that second half, it seemed like they kind of fell apart. I didn't watch that game too closely. I was on them, and I wasn't watching it too closely. It just didn't interest me too much. I took a shot with the Bulls, and they just ended up getting smacked up in that second half. Milwaukee, on their other hand, coming off a big win. Damian Lillard, man, I mean, he's going to get you 30 every single day. I don't know who's going to guard him here on the Bulls. Kobe White, Josh Giddey. I don't know. No one's going to be able to guard this guy most likely. But Giannis, yeah, most likely will play. Chris Middleton's out in this one. It's a tough spot, man. I could only lean towards the Bulls because it's almost double-digit points, and somebody tells me Milwaukee wins this game and maybe doesn't cover. Maybe the Bulls get a backdoor cover somehow. I'm going to stay away from this one, but I have a lean towards the Bulls, man. It's a team I kind of want to get behind as a dog in some situations. I just don't know if this is the right situation.
The Bucks had no pressure on them on the road in Philly for Philly's home opener. Philly missing George and Embiid, and they played with no pressure, 53.8 from the field, 43.2 from three. Now it's their home opener. It's a big, important spot. I know that we don't expect teams just to no-show in a situation like this, but I just wonder if it's the Bulls' first quarter here after the Bucks looked so good. God, I feel like I get to the window on this one. I mean, you can't be super confident on all your action, or maybe you should only wait till you're super confident like we are on the Rockets. But the Bulls looked, who we think they are, which is not a very good basketball team. But, they get on the road, they lose by 12. Now they head over to Milwaukee, pressure on Milwaukee. Cedric says, good luck, Jimmy. My Bulls are out of sync. I'm gonna wait on this. I'm not gonna bet this after the show, but I'm certainly leaning towards Bulls first quarter. But hearing Saturate say that, I'm gonna wait. But I'm certainly leaning towards Bulls first quarter in this spot, expecting Milwaukee, after shooting so spectacularly in a non-pressure situation, to feel a little bit of pressure in their home opener. Honestly, the more I talk about it, the more I want to move on it. That was a really well-played game with no pressure, and now they have pressure against a bad basketball team that they're supposed to beat. I think I get to the window on Bulls first quarter. I'll tweet it out if I bet it. Anything for you, or do we move on, my man?
Let's move on in this one. I'm going to stay away from this one.
We have 3 games left here on the card. Let's roll. 9:30 p.m. Eastern with the Golden State Warriors. 1-0 to start the season at the Utah Jazz. 0-1 to start the season. We talked about that Memphis-Utah spot. We're at the Delta Center in Salt Lake City. Let's talk about what we saw from each team in their first game. Okay, no worries, man. 140-104 for the Warriors, at Portland. They looked very, very good. And, here we are, not at home, so they're still, devoid of pressure, but 51.6 from the field, 41.7 from three. They still had the turnover issues, that we expect. They dominated, put up 41 points in the second quarter after a very quiet first quarter. I mean, what can you say? I mean, Wiggins, 8 of 15, 4 of 7 from three. He looked very good. They got to play their whole bench. We saw Buddy come off the bench, Melton, Moody. It's a deep squad. And they beat up on a terrible Blazers team. And the bench went crazy in the second half, going for 78 points. So that was the Warriors. Let's roll in here to And Saturated says, Giddy said when the crowd booed him, it shook his teammates. They weren't expecting that. They're going to have to deal with that all season. No, I feel you. The Jazz coming off that 126-124 loss at home versus Memphis. I think that's an important game for them to come in to this one. You know, they played good competition and they lost right at the buzzer. Markkanen was a monster, as we can expect from him. Let's take a look at the injury situation, if there's anything that needs to be worried about. You know, Juzang Collier out, Melton the game time decision. I don't think any of that really matters too much. You know, when Markkanen goes to the 3 and you got Kessler at the 5 and Hendricks at the 4, I mean, there's so much length, but I don't think that's what you necessarily need to have a ton of length against the Warriors. Let's go into the line history here for this one. We have Utah at +5. The Warriors some books have moved this from 2.5 all the way to 5. Will Hill sitting here at a 5. That's where they opened it, but they opened it here. They're telling us they opened it 25 minutes ago. Again, I'm going to figure out how to line shop with the legal books that we're working with better as we move forward. 92% of tickets, 90% of cash is on the over. 92 and 90 on the over. This total, I should say, opened at 234.5. Opened at 232 and is now at 234.5. We know that Will Hill just open these lines up here. At least that's what they're telling us. So we don't need to go over their line movement. When we get to the cash flow, as I said, 92 and 90 on the over. Get to all markets here. And we have 93% of tickets, 94% of the cash on the Warriors. This is such a public spot on the Warriors. Coming off a blowout against the weak competition. The Jazz just played a real basketball game. How are we not on the Jazz in this? Take it away one time.
Oh, we are in this spot, Jim. Definitely worries me that I'm not going to lie. Like I told you earlier last night, I bet the Houston Rockets at a -2. I also bet the Utah Jazz at a +120. You can get a +160 at a lot of spots right now, I believe. Right, Jim?
Yeah. Let me just take a.
Yeah, I moved on it last night. I thought I was going to be able to get. I thought it was just going to keep going, and I thought I was getting some good reverse line movement in this type of game, honestly. Utah coming off just a crushing loss, a home opener at home, only lost by 2 or 3 points in that one. Golden State just blowing through their opponent in that first game. Steph Curry, almost went for a triple-dub in that one. He wanted to get Wiggins involved in that game. He had 20 points in that spot. This just seems like such a Utah spot. And you talk about my guy, Keontae George, man, another guy that's quietly under the radar last season, made me some money when he was pretty much the number 1, number 2 option there last season. We see him coming off a very bad performance. I think he shot 3 of 16 from the field, Jim, in that first game here. They got his points props at 15.5. I got 2 plays in this one for you guys. This is the game I'm most heavily involved in. I'm on the Utah spot +120, but honestly, I didn't tweet it out. So give me a just give me a +5 in this spot. No, give me the +170, Jim. Give me the
+180. We can
give
do
me +180 on the money line. I'm on the money line. I'm not on the points. I don't need the 5 points. They're gonna win this game outright. And give me Keontae George over 15.5 points -120. He's gonna get 20-25. He's gonna need to if they're gonna want to get this win. And him coming off a bad shooting performance at home, being at home again. I mean, we talk about it. Utah just got a hockey team. I mean, I went to a Utah college game, and those fans were unlike any other fans I've seen, so dedicated to their teams. And this is going to be a sellout crowd. People are going to be rocking for this one in Utah. They're going to get this done. Warriors coming off the biggest blowout win in their opener in franchise history, won by 32 points. Utah Jazz is going to get it done here. This is a letdown spot for Golden State. Give me Utah Jazz money line and Keontae George. He's going to eat it up today.
Let's lock that in. So we get you a +181. It wasn't the Warriors home opener, but you mean season opener.
Season opener, yeah. I meant the Jazz. The Jazz is they were home openers, right?
Yeah.
That's what I meant. Apologies.
Cool. No, it's all good. Just clarity for everything. George, over. What was the prop that you got?
Over 15.5 points -120. You can get that, I think, anywhere right now.
You are locked and loaded. Jazz +181. George. So I'm starting to think now that with being so high on the Jazz and Rockets spots, now the Jazz, I must wait though. I got to wait and see what that high watermark is because the Publix just saw them put up 140. So I must wait and wait and wait. The Rockets got to be moved on immediately. That takes away some of the necessity. Oh God, I like the Hawks. No, I got to go move on the Hawks. I think
I do too. I might have to get there too. I'm gonna tweet. I'll tweet it out and I'll text you if I do, and you can make it official for me.
the Bulls' first quarter feels like a Wizards' first quarter. Why? I don't really need to take these sort of stands, and I don't need to take. I don't. If there's spots that I really like, and I'm trying to keep my quantity of action low, and we're 2-0 to start the year. I don't know if I get to that Bulls first quarter. I'm going to wait on that one. We have 2 games left. Let's roll. Next up, 10 p.m. Phoenix Suns at LA Lakers. We're at crypto.com for this one. Now, these Suns started off with that 116-113 overtime victory at the Clippers. They needed every last second to take care of business. I know there's a lot of people who think that they're going to be much better this year due to some continuity with their lineup, but they shot 39.5% from 3 and 48.7% from the field and barely won a game and turned the ball over 22 times. I don't find very much appealing about this squad, but Beal looked better, and I mean how we know how important that's going to be. The Lakers come off that 110-103 victory to start off the year against Minnesota at home. They look good. They do have a lot of continuity in their roster. Let's get into the line history and touch on any injury issues. Wood out, Vanderbilt out, Koloko out, Hood-Schifino out, so nothing surprising there for the Lakers. But of course, Bradley Beal is a game time decision. We got to get used to that. He's already been listed as probable, so you can expect him in the lineup. Then we have Grayson Allen as a game time decision as well. With the Achilles, he is probable to play. So Grayson Allen, probable, Beal, probable, and Okogie out. Let's get into the line history here for this one. I've got the money line up, so why don't we just work with that right now? Move over here. Sorry. We have the Lakers at minus 119. They opened up at minus 115. They got it to minus 130 a couple times. Right now, we have 4 cents of movement towards the Lakers on the money line. On the total here, we have a 226.5. This is juiced to the over. Opened up at 228.5. Got down to 224.5. Got down to 224 flat. Got down to 223. Got down to 222.5. Jesus. Holy shit. This went from 228.5 to 222.5. And then back up to 226.5. Good God. Take a look at the cash flow then for this spot. We have on the money line, just 20% of the tickets on the Suns, but 53% of the cash, 93% tickets and 88% cash on the over. And on the spread, it's a coin flippy spot, 58 and 53 on the Suns. Take it away, Wine Time, high profile late night game, Suns Lakers.
Yeah, man. Me, big time Lakers fan over here. We were talking about on Tuesday on Peter Loshak's show. I was in the chat. I was saying there's no way the Lakers win this game. Timberwolves all day. I was heavy on the Timberwolves guys. We saw what happened. Lakers won the game from start to finish in that spot. With that being said, I'm not going to fade them. I'm not going to fade my squad in this spot. I am going to look at a prop total in this, guys. I do like the acquisition of what they got in Tyus Jones. Or Tyus or Trey Jones. I think it's Tyus, right? Tyus Jones, the point guard for Suns. I like what he's been doing over there. I like him as a ball distributor to his shooters. I mean, he's got shooters around him. I mean, he's got KD. He's got Booker. We saw him shy away from the shots last game. We saw him get more of his teammates involved. With that being said, man, where does Booker like to play best? That's at Lakers, Crypto, at Staples Center, whatever you want to call it. At Crypto, man, he loves playing there, man. He lights it up there every single time. I mean, who doesn't like playing at Crypto, man? The atmosphere is unlike any other sports atmosphere I've been to. It's just so electric there, man. And those guys are going to be up for a big shooting night. And I think Tyus Jones gets these guys involved early and often. Tyus Jones had 8 assists in his first game. His prop right now is at 6.5. I think he easily hits this. I think he's going to have 4 or 5 assists probably in that first quarter, honestly, getting the ball to his playmakers that can shoot the ball from the 3. I do lean towards the Suns. I'm not going to lie in the spot, man. I'm just not going to fade my team again. I'm not going to watch this game rooting against my team. I'm just going to take a prop in this spot. Maybe I'll take something else on the Lakers in the prop market. But as of right now, I just love this Tyus Jones over 6.5 assists. He has no reason to be shooting the ball or to go after the rim. His job is to solely get his shooters involved, get them open space and have them shoot the ball and get some points on the board. So Tyus Jones over 6.5. I saw my guy Saturated down there. He said plus 102. I want to say, give me whatever best number available you can give me. I got minus 105. So you can just give me the minus 105 over 6.5 assists. He's going to hit 8 in this spot, maybe 9 or 10.
No, I like it. But you didn't tweet this out. We can find you the best line available.
No, yeah, you can find me the best number.
Okay, we will do that. We got to roll on to our final spot here. New Orleans Pelicans, Portland Trailblazers. Great job, Wine Time. Your first foray with me capping the entire NBA card. We're going to have these big, juicy
Been a
Friday
blast.
night cards. Also, the Suns-Lakers spot for me, I'm very uncomfortable with it. Lakers coming off a big win. I also historically don't like backing teams on the second game in LA if they won the first game, and especially if they won the first game in overtime. There's just stuff going on that I'm not privy to in LA, and it always just makes me nervous. So I don't feel like I have an edge there. I don't. I can understand why people like the market within the Suns money line. Let's go Pelicans, Blazers. Pelicans coming off that 123-111 win at home for Chicago. Blazers come off getting absolutely demolished by Golden State. We're not at a point where we have enough history with this Blazers squad where we can say, oh, look, they have Harp. If we talked about guys that we like, you want like Thibault out there, and he's out of the lineup, Sharp out of the lineup. So it's Simons, Kamara, Avdia, which we like the Avdia pickup, but Jeremy Grant and DeAndre Ayton. I mean, if you look up Heartless in the dictionary, I'm sure Jeremy Grant and DeAndre Ayton will be giving each other a high five.
Oh, 100%, dude.
So are they going to come back here in this one? I can't have faith in it. Let's get into the line history here. I certainly, and I told you, I had a colleague when I was in Costa Rica in my first year, who I don't know where he is anymore, but every single time a team lost by 30 plus in NBA, blind bet them the next day, and he would show me the results. The results were excellent. This total opened up at 219, dropped down to 218.5, and is back at 219. On the point spread here, we have the Pelicanos coming in as just 6-point favorites. I mean, the market knows they're not going to be too harsh to judge this horrible Portland team, but it seems like a really nice spot.
Is Murray out?
Yes, DeJounte Murray is out. That's part of it. Yeah, DeJounte Murray is out. Thank you for mentioning that. And so is Troy Murphy. So Murphy and DeJounte Murray are out. So, I mean, that's part of it. But still, I mean, what you'd want, you kind of want an injury just because then there's focus.
Yeah.
Because you can come into these spots and have no focus. 88% of tickets, 91% cash on the Pelicans, 93% of tickets, 90% cash on the over. Take it away, my man.
Yeah, tough game right here, man. Zion Williamson's looking like he's going to play in this one. He didn't play in that first game. Portland, man, coming off a horrible loss, man. That being said, man, their starting five doesn't look horrible on paper. I mean, Denny Avdia is a walking bucket. I mean, if you tell him to score the ball, he can do that anytime. He can get you 20, 25 in his sleep. Simon's on the other end too, man. When his shot's on, man, he can hit that three ball at an insane rate. DeAndre Ayton, man, you already talked about him. Soft as tissue, man. It's crazy. Jeremiah Grant definitely could put the ball in the bucket. I think it's more in like the garbage time situations and times when they're more down points rather than times they actually need points in the game. I mean, we look at Jeremiah Grant, man. I mean, the stops he's had over the years, man. I mean, when he was with Denver and OKC his first couple of years, these last couple of years, just stinker of teams where he's kind of the vocal point of that offense. And I guess you could probably say he is still in this lineup. But that being said, man, Pelicans, coming off big win against Chicago. We talked DeJounte Murray's out for this one. I'm not sure what's going on, but he is out in this one. Zion Williamson is in Zion's first game. He didn't play in that first game, so I'm curious to see how in shape he's going to be. I mean, Zion is an absolute tank, especially in the paint. I mean, when he's on, man. This guy's an absolute animal, dude. Portland, on the other hand, they are going to be playing in Portland, man. I mean, these fans do show out for these games. Portland loves their basketball. It's pretty much their team to go for. So we should expect fans to be at this game, I would think. I would hope for their fan base. At the same time, though, man, coming off a crushing loss to Golden State, 30-plus points, man. Very difficult, very difficult. And that was at home, too. Wow, in Portland, losing by that much. That's absolutely insane. So, yeah, and with that being said, though, man, seeing a 6 right here, I could only lean towards the Blazers, I would say, honestly, just because the market-wise, I'm not going to take anything in this. I'm not going to take it just despite of the market. I do like some of these guys that can score for the Blazers. I mean, Pelicans they've got some guys CJ McCollum, they've got Zion, Brandon Ingram. I mean, those three guys alone could get you 20-plus points. Then you got a guy like Daniel Tice that doesn't want to shoot the ball, that's going to do the dirty work for you on that side of the ball. And Herb Jones, he's going to be a 3-and-D guy, man. I mean, he's going to hit that three ball when he's wide open. He's going to guard the best player on that team. So, this is a tough game. I'm going to stay away from this one.
I'm never going to fade a team that gets blown out. And we're talking 30 plus.
Yeah.
Like I've seen the information. I've tracked the information. So if I'm not going to bet on the team that was just blown out, I stay off. Zion playing. Zion Williamson is in the lineup. Let's review all action. What a job by Wine Time Sports. We've seen what he's done in college football. It's going to be fun to see what he does here in NBA. He's on the under 215.5 in Magic Nets. Under 215.5. We stayed off Sixers Raptors. I'm interested in the Hawks -5. We have, a stat here from Rod Zawacki saying friends don't let friends bet the Hawks. Says bet against Atlanta in the first half of the season. Atlanta record since 2024, 7-26, 21% against the spread. Another year here with Snyder. I just I will heed your information. And I will sit with it longer after the show. Because honestly, if I only had those two spots, which we'll get into in a second. By the way, BJ's best bet, Suns money line. Wine time on the Pistons first half +6.5. Pacers, Knicks, no action. Wine time on the Rockets -3 at -116. I'll be rocking with him on the Rockets -3.5. The Bulls first quarter, I just don't feel like there's any need for me to take these steps at this point in the season. As much as it really interests me and appeals to me, I still may get there. Wine time on Jazz +181 and George over 15.5 points. I'm going to be on the Jazz. I'm going to wait because I know Warriors will keep getting hammered, especially after 140 points. And then wine time on Tyus Jones over 6.5 assists at +102. And we stayed off Pelicans, Blazers. Anything that you add, wine time, you can tag me if you'd like. You don't have to, but because we've talked about all of these games, they will all be official. Anything you tweet out will all be official because we've talked about every one of these games on the show. That's how we'll work all year long. Excellent work. Our guy, Troy Torrance, says home favorites are abysmal when total drops more than 2 points. Okay. We'll copy and paste that, Troy. Thank you. We're going to get Troy rocking with us here in NBA as well this season. So let's copy and paste that note. And season says even more so when the market moves towards them. At this, I'm interested. So I guess you're talking about multiple things here I need to sit with this longer. Wine time, thank you so much. Please support our guy, and it applies to the Hawks. Let me just go back to it very quickly here. I have no market move towards them. You mean 3 cents? Would 3 cents count? This opened up at 5 and is a 5. The market's not moving towards the Hawks. There'd be no reason to, but so let me know and I'll text you here. But please support our guy, Wine Time on X, at Wine Time Sports. I'm going to pop it here in the Twitter handle. Wine Time, excellent work in college football, and I can't wait to watch you rock this year in basketball. Any last words for the Cappers Sporting Show?
Yeah, man. Shout out to everyone in the chat, man. Joy Mariaccio, Troy Torrance, my guy right there. Poker Addicted, Wager Detective, Robert Flank, and hey, JPZ, my guy. I didn't even know they had lines for these high school. Modern Day now -11. Should take – that's hilarious, man. That's awesome, man. I would honestly only lean St. John Bosco. They've got a really good running game over there. They've got a couple good running backs that are committed to big-time programs. Quarterback's a little iffy, but, I mean, he's still a real dude. I think he's committed to, forgot where he's committed to. Modern Day, though, I mean, they're always good every single year in high school football, man. But what a game, man. That's going to be that's fun, man. That's going to be playing at SoFi tonight. So, yeah, shout out to the high school football, man. But, yeah, man, thanks for having me as always, Jim, man. Always a good time with you, rocking and rolling, man. I was so stoked that you asked me to do NBA today, man. Texting my wife, I was like, I'm doing NBA tomorrow after college football. I'm stoked. Let's go. So I'm stoked to be here with you, my man. It's always a pleasure to do this with you. I appreciate you. Shout out to everyone in the chat. Let's just keep cashing these tickets, man. College football and now NBA. Let's go.
I love it. There he is, Wine Time Sports. I promised Ella that I would pick her up from school today. It's Friday. I'll pick her up all week. So I've got to run as fast as possible. Let's just quickly roll through action. Stacks play day, Boston College, team total over 21.5. Jose will be rolling this racehorse, this horse race. And I'm sorry I can't stick with you to end this off. Stacks play the day, number 2's Yankees +106. We have BJ MLB best bet Yankees money line. The Bubbarito soft belly play of the day is the over 6.5 in Knights Senators. The Chapiadora play of the day is USC -13. As you guys know, I've murked CFL last 2 weeks and I need it because I'm not really succeeding the way I expect to across the whole sports market. I'm on the Tiger Cats plus 115, Tiger Cats double result at plus 190. I'm on the Elks plus 115, Elks double result at plus 145. Those were bet on Tuesday night. I was late to the party on the Bombers. I got the double result at minus 125. I'm already on the Stampeders plus 3.5. You can get it plus 4 right now, and I say bet it because the Bombers are going to beat the Alouettes, and this will move down to a pick 'em because the Roughriders will have nothing to play for. I'm going to put my money where my mouth is, and I'm going to take the Stampeders on the double result at plus 260. I'm going to have that bet here shortly. Then in NHL, I have 3 spots on 2 games. I'm on the over in Nashville, Chicago. That line's gone heavy against me, and well, not heavy, but 10 cents legitimately against me. I should say Predators -1 at minus 117. I'm on the Oilers -1.5 at plus 115. In that one. Then Ron Crawford play today for Ron Crawford. Yankees in baseball, Islanders in hockey, and Rockets in NBA. Big O gave us Teoscar Hernandez to be the World Series MVP. Dougie Wise gave us Yankees first 5 minus 105. I'm interested in the under 9. I don't know if I get there. Sharpie is on the Yankees team total under 4.5. Dabby Cabs on Ohtani over 1.5 bases. Then Louisville first half for Kong's Clips. Louisville minus 7.5. And I'm very interested in taking the Trojans first half team total over. Rod Zawacki's on Rutgers under team total. And as I said, the Chapiadora play of the day is USC minus 13. I've got to run. I promised I'd pick up Ella. And I'm at 2:30. I got 7 minutes to run to the school. I love you guys. Thank you so much for all your hard work. Please give all these guys in the chat the love they deserve because they're absolutely incredible. We have absolutely nothing without you guys. I thank you guys from the bottom of my heart. We have huge day of action tomorrow, a huge day of action on Sunday. The weekend is where we shine at Pub Sports Radio. So please support our college football programming, our UFC programming. Please support it. And then Sunday, you know what it is, man. NFL Pub Hub in the morning and then our live stream at night. And, it's my Friday night. The wife doesn't like me saying it. She thinks I get a little too intoxicated on these. But it's my Friday night. On Sunday night, I'm going to do it up big. I love you guys. I got to run and get Ella. I'll catch you later. Thank you for locking me down, Jose. Respect and love. I'll catch you guys.
Yep. See you later, Jimmy. Shout out to him there. And shout out to Rod Zawacki, who just joined Pub Sports Radio Gold here. So, Rod, I will put you in the horse race right now. We have an electric horse race. We appreciate everyone that joins and becomes a member here. You guys are the backbone of this channel, and without you guys, we would not be here. So, shout out to you guys. 82 gold members, 81 people in the horse race, mainly because we have an invisible member there. So shout out to him. Let's do it. Dougie Wise, I'm big on the Dodgers here. So let's go. I'm a part of the Dodgers family. And Wager Detective, so you know, it is $4.99 to be a member of the channel and $9.99 to become a gold member and become a gold member horse racer here. So those are the big differences. And the differences between channels, you get more. There are member-only shows like the Cappers Contest and stuff like that. Gold members get in these horse races. So shout out to you, Wager Detective. Thanks for asking. Everyone in this race, a gold member. Thank you to all. And Piker, I wish you were that invisible member. It'd be nice to see you in green here. But appreciate all you guys. Let's race here. We have everyone in one horse race so we can get out of here. We appreciate all of you guys yet again. And let's get racing here. A beautiful day. TJ on his birthday. Happy birthday to you, TJ. Starting off fast, but falling back quickly. We've got Bo Jackson, Al Cervix, Stacking Cream, all in the mix here. Julian Cesario in the mix. Dutch Boy Fresh in the mix there as well. 1 minute race here, 40 seconds left. Ryan Kozlowski and Barry Roselle making a push here to the top of the pack here. In the back, we've got Fanatical Jim and Coin pushing up. Little Domo in the mix. Skunt Blaster there. Zoe Faye, Big Ragu, the Sweaty Butcher at the top of the screen. We've got 20 seconds left. Paul Taylor, the Sailor, Dutch Boy Fresh, and there they go. There's a cough in the middle of the race. Paul Taylor, the Sailor, leading the race right now. 10 seconds left. We're coming into the money zone. Jimmy the Bag pushing for the lead. Oh my God, is Jimmy going to do it? And he's not even here. Jimmy, Old E comes through with it. Wow. Jimmy the Bag so close to becoming a champion here, but good Lord, he just barely misses out. And our guy, Old E, takes it home. Shout out to you, Old E. Congratulations, my guy. Appreciate you guys. That is a great job there. And thank you for being a member, Old E. Email Pub Sports Radio at pubsportsradio or at pubsportsradio Gmail. I should say pubsportsradio at Gmail, but whatever. Thank you guys. It's been a long show. We appreciate you guys for staying in this whole program from baseball to basketball to football. We've got you covered here. Billy, I'm sorry that you didn't see your horse there. You were there, though. I promise you that. But appreciate it, my guy. Wager Detective, I just went over the perks and prices for the membership there, so I'm not going to say it again, but rewind a bit before the horse race, and you'll hear that again here. So thanks, everyone. Don't forget to sign up, to sign up for our books that we have here. If you guys don't have a membership or a login or whatever, an account, I should say. I'm melting down here. Go sign up, scan that QR code, hit the link in our description there. If you need a new book, FanDuel, DraftKings, BetMGM, all have a lot of good promos there as well. Monthly, Wager Detective, monthly there. So appreciate you guys. Say hey, and we'll see you guys next time.